Mr. Fider Saputra M. Home. Kami persilakan untuk naik ke atas panggung karena ada 3 keynote speaker lagi yang akan hadir melalui via Zoom meeting pada hari ini. Kami persilakan Mr. Fider.
All right. Thank you very much for the Masters of Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second sessions of ICoHSST. I would like to remind you all that this is an international conference on health, social sciences, and technology 2023. The topic of our second ICoHSST is optimizing integrated health services for a better quality of life. This international conference is aimed to provide framing and catalyzing actions on quality improvement in the health of quality of care to drive the implementations of the 6 pillars of health transformations and to provide visions in facing significant challenges in creating a better quality of life through multi-sectors and optimizing quality of integrated health services. My name is Fidor Saputra and I'm going to be the moderator for this second sessions. And we have 3 keynote speakers in these sessions. We have Dr. Amna Javid. She's the head of Department of Nutrition and Dietetics from Faisalabad University. We also have assistant professors, Dr. Theo Claus Shen is the head of School, Traditionals and Complementary Medicine, Faculty of Medicines and Health Sciences, USCI University, Malaysia. And last one, we have Dr. Abhishek Joshi. He is the co-founder Vaidya Ayurveda, United States of America. And please let me greet our wonderful keynote speakers first. I want to greet, hello, hello, Doctors Amna Javid. Am I
Hello,
audible? Are you
Assalamualaikum.
there?
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
Thank you. I hope that I call your name with the correct way because your name is a little bit,
It's
strange.
Amna.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard. Is it, am I call your name in the right way?
Yeah, it's Amna. You can call
Ama.
me Amna.
Okay, all right. Ama Javid. All right. Okay. Good afternoon from Indonesia, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
All right. And then I would like to greet Dr. Theo Kla Shin. Am I audible to you? Are you there? I guess no. All right. I guess he will be joining with us later on. Okay, right. Before we start this second session, I would like to inform for all of our keynote speakers and also participants actually that we have 2 sessions. Yeah, the first one is presentation sessions. After the presentation, we will move to the Q&A sessions. And for your informations, Doctor, we have online participants and via Zooms, and also we have offline participants in the ballroom with me. So we have participants in this ballroom actually. And each keynote speakers actually has 45 minutes to present the topics. And then I will remind the speakers when they have 5 more minutes left. Yeah. Is it enough for you, Doctor? 45 minutes.
Yes,
All right.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then for the Q&A, you can ask the questions for the participants, both for participants in the offline room and online room. And without any further ado, now we are going to start it from the first speaker,
Yes.
Dr. Amma Javid. And to Dr. Amma Javid, 45 minutes ahead is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, yes, Doctor. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Uh, my name is Dr. Amna Javed. I'm heading the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics in the University of Faisalabad. I'm also heading the Department of International Linkages of the University of Faisalabad, and I'm connecting with multiple institutes all over the world. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I am so much obliged and thankful to the management for considering me to having my point of view. Thank you so much once again. Today, my topic of discussion, the topic to whom I want to speak is the global food issues. First of all, why I have selected this topic, because the scale of current global hunger and malnutrition crisis is enormous. So about the understanding for the global food issues, global food issues refers to a combination of the factors that are causing crisis in food availability, including weather conditions, climate changes, environmental degradations, armed conflicts, and economic shocks. It is also referred to all the activities and processings affecting the production, distribution, and consumption of the food, encompassing hunger, food insecurity, and malnutrition. That is the imbalance of the essential nutrients or impaired nutrient utilization in your body. Sustainable management and utilization of the natural resources are also critical components of the global food issues, which demand support for people, educationalists, students, and it would include its part in the open trade and bigger local harvests. There are some contributing factors that I have to mention, and these are the lacking of the food reserves leading to the food insecurity that ultimately leading to the malnutrition, depleted resources of any reserve, high supplies and fuel costs, higher import and fertilizer costs, eroding countries' international reserves and their ability to pay for these essential imports, extreme weather conditions, depletion of the food stocks, and disappointing harvests that must have to say about the post-harvest losses. About the post-harvest losses, there are about 1/3 of food products, that is about 1.3 billion tons. That is about US $1 trillion lost globally during post-harvest operations. Improper food laws, and of course their institutional approaches, and COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, I would like to discuss the impact of the global food issues. Global food issues continuously has to be a major concern around the world, because the current state of the acute food insecurity affects 79 countries with at least 345 million people facing this challenge. If I talk about 2020, there are 720 and to 811 million people who went hungry due to these factors that I already have discussed in my previous slides. And the number of the people facing hunger increased by 118 million compared to the previous years. In addition, 50 million people are on the brink of starvation. Countries highly exposed to food insecurity are expected to face an additional $9 billion imbalance of the payment pressures in 2022 and 2023 due to the import costs. Here I got some glimpses from the Google in which child and mother showing their malnutrition status through the pictorial evidences. One I took from the Kenya and the other one is from Somalia. Okay, what would be the current global food challenges? It is the first one, very important for us that we are currently facing in Pakistan too, that is a climate change. I would like to share that in the previous month, we are facing extreme weather conditions in Pakistan due to the smoke, and we have 1 week lockdown due to the extreme weather conditions that the children's and the suffering from the flu and the eye diseases and the pink eye infection. So the schools and universities were locked for the last 1 week. That would be the environmental degradation, natural disasters, and the policy-driven shifts towards a bio-based economy. That is a new model of the industry and economy, involves renewable biological resources to produce food energy and industrial goods. Biofuel production responsible for a majority of the non-food uses of the crops instead of the food. Growing global food production, poverty, a very basic factor. Household levels factors such as size of your family, the persons you have, the income status of your family, low education levels, no wellness, poor health outcomes, the hygienic conditions are involving in this, inadequate access to the water and sanitation facilities that I would later share a video with you guys that you can see that how much sanitation conditions we are suffering right now, and the political instability. So about the public health concerns that on the global scale, the global food security is a very crucial problem for the public health as it directly impacts nutritional access and overall well-being of the human beings. Issues like food scarcity, unequal distribution, and environmental challenges can lead to the malnutrition and related health problems on the global scale. Additionally, the globalization of the food trade increases the risk of the disease spread on a very huge scale. So we need to emphasize the need of the coordinated international efforts to address these concerns. According to the addressing of these concerns, we need a histologic approach involving international collaborations, practicing agricultural practices that are sustainable, improving the infrastructure, and of course, the policies that promote equitable access to the nutritious food. It is essential to consider the interconnected nature of the food security and public health for comprehension solutions. There is a diagram. These are the 4 basic components of the food security. The number 1 is the availability that deals to the physical availability of the food regarding to the agriculture production, its import, export, its holdings in the stock. The next one is the access. If we talk about the access, this means the physical access towards the food, because sometimes we do have the stocks in our country, but many communities and societies do not have physical access to the food. Because when we talk about the food security, it does mean that you have physical access to the food all the time. So the third one is the utilization. That is the way the nutrients are taking in your body to being absorbed in a hygienic way, in a safe way, and there are ample storage conditions to store that food. And at the last, the stability about the prices, the economic concerns, the political situations, and of course, the weather conditions. What would be the effect on the food availability? Despite an increase in the food availability globally, physical or economic access to the food remains problematic in developing regions, including Pakistan, due to the poverty rates, poor infrastructures, armed conflicts, and natural disasters. Regions that rely heavily on international markets and have low domestic food availability. It includes sub-Saharan in North Africa. As I already told about the food security refers to the ability of a population to have access, a physical access towards a sufficient, safe, hygienic, and nutritious food at all the time in all the situation for an active and healthy life. Like they don't have fear that they would not have food in hours. There must be an ample stock of the food for each person. The availability, utilization, and stability of the food by individuals and populations are the main components of the food security that I already have discussed with you guys in the previous slides. Case studies illustrate severity of the situation. For instance, the Horn of Africa experienced severe droughts in 2011 that leading to the widespread of the famine. If I talk about the Horn of the Africa region, that consists of the internationally recognized countries of Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea, and geographically the protruding shape that resembles a horn consists of Somali Peninsula and eastern part of the Ethiopia. And if I talk about Pakistan, uh, I have to mention that more than 20% of the population is undernourished, and about 45% of the children younger than 5 years remain stunted in their growth. So, which is another component of the food insecurity. So, one of the significant components of the food security is the level of acute food insecurity, which is projected to affect 11.8 million people, that is about 32% of the analyzed population, between November 2023 and January 2024. Okay, there is some pictorial representation, that is IPC acute malnutrition scale, that is integrated food security phase classification. Food insecurity classification provides us the 5 levels. The first one is the minimal and none, and the second one is the stressed one. And third, fourth, and 5 phases are the most critical phases from the crisis to the catastrophic. Regarding the reasons for food insecurity, it was noted that in over 53 countries, among 193 million people are facing the food insecurity. Out of those 193 million people, around 139.1 people in the 24 countries are facing food security due to the civil wars, due to the conflicts, due to the armed conflicts. And about 30.2 million people in 21 territories are facing the food security due to the economic crisis, the instability, the ups and downs. And lastly, around 23.5 million people in 8 countries facing food insecurity due to the extreme weather conditions and uncertainty. That we do have many changes in our, that Pakistan has 4 seasons, and we are facing some very acute weather conditions. Sometimes the heavy rains when our crops are ready to harvest, and they are catastrophic, the results due to the weather conditions and the heavy rainfalls. Okay. I think this is the crux of my presentation, in which you can see that gender and age, there are some factors: gender and age, ethnicity, education, family type, the class to which you are belonging, your income status, your socioeconomic position. These are all the factors that ultimately affecting the food insecurity. If you have insufficient access to the nutritious food, culturally acceptable foods, or you have insufficient access to the shops containing food, that you are unable to physically visit a shop, or there is inability to obtain food in socially acceptable ways, like according to your culture or the needs. How it would impact you in future? It could be a decreased consumption of the core foods, like you are not having the fruits, the vegetables, the variety of the foods, you are eating the same type of the food, or your portion size is decreased. That would ultimately lead to the inadequate nutrition intake, and that would result in your poor general health and your increased visit to the hospital. In another way, if you can see, if you are consuming energy dense convenience foods, you are skipping meals and your periodic eating timetable is disturbed. You are having food at a time in a very high quantity. You are eating sugary foods. You are eating fatty foods instead of the fruits and vegetables. The results are the same. You are going towards the obesity, overweight. You are becoming under the pressure of the depression, and you are facing many chronic diseases. At the end, overall, they would be the poor general health conditions. So if I talk about the proposed solutions, so I think it would be our responsibility to play our role as individual, as an institution, rather than the government is taking its steps. All, of course, they are taking, but I think at individual level, at institution level, we have to do some work. During the time of the disasters, institutions play an important role towards food insecurity and stability. I want to share my experience as institutional approach. Alpha Tough is a society that is working under the umbrella of the University of Islamabad, and we are trying to provide relief in our best capacity. I want to share a few glimpses where I reached physically to overcome these disasters. Last year, we have faced flood conditions very badly. And as an institution, what role we had played, our students, our faculty, our administration, um, visited the different colleges and we collect the donations, and students, you can see in this picture, are making their ration bags at least to provide them the food security for at least 2 weeks. We provided them the ration for the 2 weeks in this form. And then we have visited Turkey, the region of the Ozan Abasi, when there was a severe earthquake in Turkey, and our students faculty reached there and we provided them the ration boxes to achieve this goal of the food security and to reduce the global food issues. You can see in this picture, this is all the earthquake affected areas. So the government initiatives and policies. To ensure the food stability, the government has implemented food safety measures and is developing emergency and disaster management policies, of course. Policy support, I think, is the being provided to address the food stability, including quality production and the trade initiatives, innovation and knowledge dissemination policies to support your market and to encourage more efficient use of the resources in food production instead of losing them. So, promoting modern technologies in the food production, sustainable practices is vital for addressing the food security. The policy should aim to make agriculture more productive, profitable, climate resilient, and competitive to ensure equitable resource distribution in the country and address food security issues. The Ministry of National Food Security and Research is involved in the deliberation of the strategy and the action plan, which is being developed in collaboration with the national and international partners. And the policy framework should aim to address all the four components of the food security that we have discussed about availability, accessibility, utilization, and stability of food. About the National Zero Hunger Program, it's another strategy that is being launched to address food security for marginalized group in the society. What could be the challenges faced and the policies? The implementation of the initiatives and the policies aimed at ensuring food security in Pakistan is presents a host of challenges for us. Achieving food security beyond the eradication of hunger, that is a primary goal under the Sustainable Development Goals. It involves the underlying causes of the food security, that could be the poverty, that could be the mismanagement of the sustainable system, that could be the bad agriculture practices and the post-harvest losses. One of the major issues that is inadequate agricultural productivity is a result of several factors. and that are beyond the control due to the weather, climate, to the global warming, and the environmental degradation. Sustainable food and nutrition security solutions requires an integration and alignment in public policies, especially when we all are facing the post-pandemic era. Crucially, to provide policy, support, programs, fortifications, evidence generation, innovation to ensure that initiatives and policies aimed at achieving food security are effective. Um, Raising awareness and education. According to my point of view, I think this is the step that an institution can adopt as a strategic plan. Like the public awareness campaigns could be a very important role in informing communities about the importance of the food security, that how it could be implicate our health and how we could achieve economic stability, and we can can face the challenges of the in food security. The campaigns could be conducted through the various channels. It could be through the the television, the social media, community events, seminars, webinars, through the national and international collaborations, by sharing the good practices with each others. Education programs in the schools, universities could integrate in the curricula that uh, we can teach our new generation about this, so they can emphasize the significance of the responsible agriculture practices, efficient, and the impact of the climate change in the future. Engaging local communities through the workshops, through the seminars, through the counseling sessions, interactive sessions, that could foster a better understanding that how the individuals and communities can play their role in food security in future. Partnerships, of course, between the government agencies, non-government agencies, organizations, private enterprises, universities could enhance the effectiveness of the awareness and education initiatives. I'm sharing some pictures and pictorial evidences. These are the students of my department. What we are doing, we are conducting some awareness sessions, some counseling session, awareness campaigns. You can see through the brochures, through the dietary plannings, and this is an interactive session. We went to the underprivileged areas and the societies, and we deal with the famine. There were women's, as you know, the teaching a woman is teaching a generation. So we did the counseling session with them. We made the charts, we made healthy lunch boxes, and we raised the awareness about the food insecurity. These are the hygienic conditions and the storage stability connections this is a workshop that was conducted by a storage facility, and they told us how we can save our food for a longer time with good hygienic practices. This was a counseling session that we done about the nutritional status of the underprivileged and janitorial staff in our university. These are some other glimpses. And students are also working to make some healthy, nutritious, fortified food to address this challenge in future through the research and development in their class projects. So thank you so much. I would request the moderator to play the video, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for Dr. Amajevid for your outstanding topics. Yeah. You talk about global food issues, and it's a wonderful one to discuss about. Actually, we can find a lot of kinds of problem globally concerning about food issues, and of course, there are thousands of challenges for us to face. Actually, and I hope the participants can get something from our explanations. And for those who still want to know more about the topic, because we still have time, Doctor, so we are going to open the Q&A sessions, yeah, for both online participations and offline participations. Yeah. Please raise your hands if you want to ask the questions.
Excuse me, I have
Video.
shared a video.
Okay.
If you could
So
play that,
before,
because
yeah, yeah, Doctor.
I have emailed the video
the video, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
All
have
right.
that?
You send it through email,
Yes.
I know it. Okay, all right. We're gonna share it before we open the Q&A
Yes,
sessions. Yeah.
because yes, because
All right.
this there was a campaign that we conducted
Okay. All right.
regarding this. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, please, operator. Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Amar
And
Javid.
I do have to announce one thing, please,
Okay.
if you
Okay.
give
All
me
right.
some time.
Please.
Yes. University of Faisalabad is going to host its first international conference on advanced STEAM education, challenges and opportunities 2023. And we do have a cultural fusion festival in follow-up closing ceremony of this conference. This is a brief rundown in which we have a very keynote speaker, the FOB honored Ms. Vladimira, and we do have some dignitaries from embassies. There would be some parallel session regarding to the computer science, mathematics, electrical engineering, civil engineering. Then we have social sciences, including Arabic and Islamic studies, education, English. And on the day two, we have our disciplines from the allied health sciences regarding pharmacy, optometry, and biotechnology. And our last session would be on the physical therapy. And this is our flyer regarding this. You can check our Facebook regarding this as well. Um, we have keynote addresses, plenary sessions. There would be some networking zones. There would be the poster competition in each parallel session. So if you all are invited, and I have privilege from my institution to invite you all, higher management, management, students to join us. Might be online, might be offline. We would provide some accommodation facilities, food pickups, transport within the our city. So you are most welcome to join us. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. It's very nice event. So it's an offline one, right, Doctor? It's offline one, right?
Offline as well as online.
All right. Okay. Hybrid
Yeah,
one. Okay.
depending upon your sessions, to which session you are joining. So I would connect to the chair of that session. Like we have divided them into the different parallel sessions.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. We're gonna follow up these things. Yeah. Dr. Amna Javid. Yeah. We're gonna follow it up, uh, and we're gonna process this. Yeah. I hope we can join your events actually, and
Yes.
both
Yes.
our lecturers, academics, or our students. Yeah. We hope
Yeah,
so.
there is a cultural event as well in the end of this conference
Yeah.
in the December 6th.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, different students from international universities are coming. So if there are any Indonesian, Malaysian, any student from any community in Pakistan, they are most welcome to attend this global event, that is the International Cultural Gala. And we would provide the accommodation, the foods and pickups for the student, and he or she can present herself and her culture in our booth. We will provide him or her a space, and he could display his or her culture over there.
All right. Thank you, doctor. Yeah, okay. All right. Now we're gonna move to our Q&A sessions. Yeah. Is there any other things that you wanna share to us, doctor?
No, thank you so much.
No. All right. Now we're
Looking
gonna open
forward
the
towards the
questions.
participation of all of you.
Yeah. All right. We have questions from offline participants. Doc.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, we have one questions from offline. It's from our first deputy of Health Polytechnic of Palembang. Yeah, please.
Oke, thank you. Assalamualaikum, Dr.
Waalaikumsalam.
Anna. Nice presentation. Sorry if I talk blend with bahasa Indonesia. Gitu. Nanti tolong Pak Fider untuk menerjemahkannya ya. Kami ya.
My deputy said that he tried to ask questions but using mix yeah.
Mix bahasa.
Good mixings, yeah.
Mix language.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Kami sudah mendengarkan tadi tentang penjelasan tentang global food issue ya, global food issue tentang security, food security. Saya mungkin yang tidak begitu tahu artinya. Sepertinya ini satu komunitas ya Pak ya, satu komunitas yang.
Ma'am, excuse me, can yes. I translate it one by one?
Okay. Please, okay.
All right. Okay. Our deputy said that you discuss about food security.
Yes. Food security kerjasama dengan pemerintah,
yeah.
Ya, dengan non pemerintah untuk kerawanan pangan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So our deputy said that there is food issues that actually have collaborations with the governments or the non-governments concerning about the dangers of the food.
Okay. Tadi saya mendengar gitu ya tentang salah satunya stunting. Ya. Would you mind to describe about stunting in Pakistan? Terus hubungannya dengan apa yang sudah mereka lakukan, Itu Pak.
Okay, all right. Actually, the main point is our deputy would like to know about the stuntings in Pakistan and what the government or the non-government have done for resolve the stunting in Pakistan. I think that's all.
Yes.
Is that all?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Please, doctor.
If I talk about the government and non-government organization, when we have any catastrophic conditions related to the flood or the earthquake in Pakistan, there are certain government institutes and agencies that are working day and night to provide secure food, to provide transport. And of course, there are some, volunteers in all agencies that are providing day by day, time to time food to the affectees. There are certain agencies in Pakistan that are working continuously on these things. And we do have some NGOs, like I am working in University of Faisalabad, and it is under the umbrella of the Medina Foundation. So we do have foundations here that are providing food on the periodic basis to the underprivileged community. That we have focused some communities in Pakistan. Like if I talk about the Faisalabad, it has many relevant areas in its premises. And we do know that students of the under 5 years, how many students are there who are going to the school. So according to these, we have developed some framework, some implementation procedures to provide them the necessities to their regions so that they are not able to come in our campus and things, like this. So if I talk about the Medina Foundation, right now where I am working, we are providing food, clothes, and the basic education needs. We do have a school that is providing free primary education to the underprivileged community. And we do have some, the periodic periods of the, like we have decided some days of the months that on these days we are providing food to the underprivileged community. So yes, we are working on like a body interconnected with the government and as well as some private agencies. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Should I translate it because it's very long? Actually? Yeah. All right. Maybe I'm going to try to translate it in Bahasa. Yeah. Excuse me, Dr. Ama, is it okay?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
use
fine.
Bahasa. Yes. Jadi beliau mengatakan bahwa beliau ada kerjasama dengan NGO, dengan Madinah Foundations, dan mereka sudah melakukan kegiatan seperti memberikan makanan gratis, pakaian gratis, dan sekolah gratis, dan itu dilakukan secara periodically. Cuma tadi beliau tidak memberikan kira-kira seberapa efektif untuk mengurangi stunting, itu tidak ada. Ya, ada pertanyaan lagi, Ibu? Oh, okay. All right. I think enough for the first questions, Doctor. And we have another questions actually in this offline participations. Yeah, we have question, I guess, from our nutrition and dietetics department. Yeah, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Salama.
Waalaikumsalam.
I am Nurul Salasani Lawati. Okay, I am interested about your the national program Zero Hunger. Okay, what's the program is being carried out, and maybe you can sharing your experience for us to decrease the starving in Indonesia and prevent the food insecurity. Thank you.
I would request the moderator to please repeat the question.
Please repeat the questions.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's not clear enough to Dr. Ama.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay. I'm interested about the National Zero Hunger program. What's the program is being carried out, and maybe you can sharing your experience about this program to decrease starving or to prevent food insecurity in Indonesia. Clear, Miss?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Like in Pakistan, if we talk about the Zero Hunger program, there are two domains. One is the government agencies and the other one are the private agencies, right? So if we talk about the government agencies, they have their own framework. Like if there are some disaster or catastrophic conditions in any part of the country, they are using their own resources, like the armed forces, to provide them the food, to provide them the shelter. But if we talk about that, is there any practice that in actual practicing in Pakistan to prevent the food insecurity? We are lacking on it. Like if we talk about the organic farming, the sustainable practices, sustainable management, we are lacking. And there are, for sure, there are laws and there are the policies to work on them for the food industries, for the harvesting, for the farmers, but we are really not following them. If I talk about the private ones, the private agencies, like I'm working under the Medina Foundation. So we have a complete plan that we are following. We have built societies in our own institution. Like we have Alpha Tough Society that is playing a role whenever there is any climatic, dystrophic, catastrophic condition in the Pakistan, the society students and their leaders. Their leaders are the good ambassadors. We have some good ambassadors in our own institution. These are the students or our alumni. They are leading the societies. We have a center of collective activities, which is held by our manager, CCA. So he vibrate all of the societies that we are going to work on this project. Like once we have the flood relief project, all of our societies are working. The Alpha Tough Society, we have Welfare Society. So students are doing work voluntarily. They are doing the campaigns on the roads, on the schools. I physically visited many schools to motivate the students to do some, even we have made the desk on the roads and people are coming to donate even a pair of the socks, and we do receive. Similar way, when there are recently from my department, I celebrated World Food Day. And my goal was to address the SDGs Zero Hunger. This was under the tough green drive that we are focusing SDGs. For that purpose, what I did, I started a campaign and I made videos of my students and we did displayed on the Instagrams and we made a desk during the day. If you want, I will share you the pictures privately. Students are collecting the ration in the form of 1 kg or 2 kg for the janitorial staffs, for the security guards, and the people I know that they are suffering. So these are some individual efforts that we as an institution working in our country. And we do have many connections of our, like we have many sub-campuses in other cities of the Pakistan. So they are doing the same practices as well. I think I made myself clear.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Salama.
All right. Okay, now we back again. Is there any other questions? Ibu Ira, all right. Mic, please. We have another questions, doctors, from our head of committee.
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Ira.
Thank you, Mr. Feeder. I want to ask the question, according to your experience, is there any psychological approach when we want to tackle of the nutrition problem? Is it only physically or any other psychological approach to resolve the nutrition problem in your country?
If a psychological approach, if you talk about the physical access, like you are talking about the campaigns we have done?
Yeah. Is there any in your country?
Yes. I will again talk about my experience in my own institution, because on the government level, we are not sure that what are the practices are actually conducting in all over the country. There must be some, some counselors or some motivational speakers that are doing this. But in our own institution, we do have Department of Psychology, where we have a practitioner sitting in our own institutes. And because we do have many students that psychology problems, they are not eating well, some have problems in eating less, and they are going towards the lethargy. So we do have counseling session for them. It was the responsibility of the head of the department to identify the particular students and make their session available to the particular practitioner. So we do have the facility in our university.
Thank you, Doctor. May I know one more question?
Yes, please.
How can you, in your country, how can the government to try to raise the empowerment from the community, or I mean the community empowerment, to enhance their awareness, to enhance their their awareness, how to they have to
Yes.
care,
Yes.
they can care their condition, especially in nutrition problem.
Okay. We do have a department on the government level that time by time we are using a campaign through our television, because in Pakistan that the television thing is the most competent thing to approach all the age levels, because there are different groups. They are elderly, they are the students, there are the children. So television is a thing that is the most dominating thing in Pakistan. So what they do, they are recording the public service messages in the national languages, and we are going to display in our entertainment channels through different, commercials and ads. Then we have a system through which we are calling to someone, and there is a recording. When you call someone, instead of a tone or a music, there is a public service message that is going to, approach each person who is literate or illiterate. So these are some steps that is, taken by the government.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, right. Thank you. Is there any other questions from on? All right. We still have one more questions, I guess, Doctor.
Okay.
Because your topic is very wonderful to discuss,
Okay, good afternoon, Dr. Amna. Amna Jadif, Jafit, I'm sorry. Actually, related to food insecurity, we know that sometimes for the first moment, there are government and non-government want to help the communities after disaster. But after that, how long does the government want to support food, the communities affected by disaster, especially how to raise the awareness of food security? Thank you, Dr. Amna.
If I talk about the government level, whenever we have a catastrophic condition in Pakistan, we all on the social media are very active. What we do, if we talk about only the government, what we did, we announced a particular account number that is always on the screen to make people, easy for them to donate in that account. After collecting that process, they are providing support to the affectees unless they have enough support regarding to the food, regarding to the shelter, and until they rebuild their houses. First thing, it depends upon the factors like how much disaster has been occurred in that particular area. One. Second thing, the NGOs are open. They can physically visit that place on their own, or they can connect to some government authority to donate that particular things or the food or the money to the government. It depends upon that. If you have enough access, that Alhamdulillah, our institution and foundation did have access to all the areas when it was affected. Like we have visited Turkey and we have visited Ghazni Abasi regions. We have visited Balochistan. This is the province of the Pakistan, and the sanitation and water conditions are very bad over there. And in the condition of the flood, the people do not have enough, a bottle of water to provide their children. So it depends upon the nature of the catastrophic region, availability of the resources, and of course the collection and donation the particular agency is making.
Okay, thank you for your information.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all, and there is no more questions. And because the time is up for you, Dr. Amajevid, so we're gonna end this our first topics of second sessions. But please don't go anywhere, Doctor, because we want to give you certificate as a keynote speaker virtually.
All right.
Yeah,
All
can
right.
you share the screen? All right. Wait a second, Doctor. All right.
All right.
Okay, Doctor, this is a certificate from Health Polytechnic of Palembang, special for you as our keynote speakers. Yeah,
Thank you so
please
much.
accept it. All right.
Thank you so much. Can I have this in PDF form?
Yeah,
Can I have this in PDF format?
video format. You want it
Yes.
in video format?
Yes.
Okay, we will send it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
You.
you.
We are the one who should say thank you so much for your time, for joining these international seminars. Yeah. And we would like to see you again real soon. Yeah.
Thank
Last
you
time
so
I said,
much.
Wassalamualaikum
Thank you.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
All right. All right. Now, we are going to move to our second speakers, Dr. Theokla Shen. Are you there, Dr. Theo?
Yes, Theo. Yes.
Theo, right? Okay.
Good afternoon
Uh, Afternoon from Indonesia. Okay,
from Malaysia.
Doctor, are you ready? You have 45 minutes actually. You ready, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
45 minutes for Dr. Theo Clashens. The screen is yours, please.
Okay, thank you. I think maybe I should start with sharing my screen.
Wait a second, Doctor. What? Wait a second. I'm sorry.
I
Wait a
share
second. I'm sorry.
I share my screen now.
Wait, Doctor. I'm sorry. So, uh, excuse me, doctor, actually, because we have posters participants too, and uh, is it okay for you if we take just 1 or 2 minutes? Right, 2 minutes actually. Your time. We want to assess the posters. Is it okay? Will you wait for 2 minutes? I'm so sorry for that. Is it okay?
Yeah, no problem.
No
Take your
problem.
time.
All right, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes, doctor. I'm so sorry for that.
Okay.
Yeah, doctor. This is actually posters that we have for today's international conference. These all posters are made by actually collaborating between lecturers and our students. We have so many posters actually for today's international conference because actually they are really excited for these events, and I hope for the next events we're gonna have more than this. All right, actually we have more than 50 posters for this international conference. Yeah. Oh, please, applause from the audience for 50 posters. Yeah, for your active participations, actually. We hope that we can get more than that for the next event. All right, okay. The 2 minute is up. Thank you so much for working. Dr. Thea, Kela, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Thank you for waiting. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah. Now 45 minutes ahead is for you, doctor. Yeah, the time is yours. The screen is yours, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me first share my presentation.
All right.
Okay, so you can see my slide, right?
Yes, we see your slide, doctor.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so very good afternoon. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in this international conference on health, social science, and technology. I'm Assistant Professor Dr. Teo Chia Xuan from UCSI University School of TNCM, or what we call as Traditional and Complementary Medicine in Malaysia. I'm also the Medical Director of UCSI TNCM Center in our hospital. So you can see here on our first page, we have this launch exactly 1 month ago. We have this UCSIT and CM Center launch. This is the opening on 21st of October 2023. Okay, so to all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to talk about the role of integrative oncology for quality of life to be in line with the theme of the conference. So there will be 3 questions in this presentation. First, what is integrative oncology? And second, when to use TCM in cancer. Later we will talk how this TCM is related to integrative oncology, and then what do you need to know about this TCM in cancer care. So for the first question, what is integrative oncology? And we cover 3 subtopics. Does TCM has any experience in treating cancer, and is there any scientific evidence of TCM in cancer care? So why am I keep talking about this TCM while the topic is integrative oncology? This is because for integrative medicine, it is different in the Western and Eastern country. So you can look if for the Western country, like the US, Canada, and UK, on the left side here, we have this integrative oncology. So this integrative oncology practitioner, they are medical doctors who are trained in field of integrative medicine. They study about herbal medicine, sleep medicine, mind, body medicine, and others. So they are integrating between the modern medicine with all other types of this what they call as CAM, complementary and alternative medicine, or later they change to complementary and integrative medicine modalities. You can see here for this integrative oncology in the Western country, it is always the modern medicine doctor, which is the medical oncologist, surgeon, radiation oncologist, which what we call as a CCT, conventional cancer treatment. And then they will be supported by, in US, the naturopathic doctors, and then the patients will benefit from the collaborative care. So this is the integrative oncology in the Western. But then in the Eastern country, usually when we talk about integrative medicine, it is the integration between modern medicine and also the traditional medicine. Let's say in China, it is modern medicine with traditional Chinese medicine. If it's the Japan is modern medicine together with traditional Japanese medicine or Kampo medicine, or modern medicine with this Korean medicine. So it is an integration between modern medicine and their traditional medicine. So today I'm going to share about TCM or traditional Chinese medicine because I myself is trained in integrative medicine in oncology, which is the combination with modern medicine and also traditional Chinese medicine. So you can see here for modern medicine, it is focused on this killing, and for traditional Chinese medicine, it is focusing on strengthening the body, and also this one strengthen the body and eliminate evil. These are some of the TCM terms. But the main concept is that we integrate the traditional medicine and also the modern medicine. So today I'm going to talk about this. So what is TCM? TCM or traditional Chinese medicine is one of the world's oldest form of medicine. It originated in China and also evolved for thousands of years. It is the essence of China or Chinese history, philosophy, and medical knowledge. It encompasses different types of practices, including you see here, acupuncture, herbal, and then the cupping, and also tuina or the therapeutic massage, dietary therapy, Tai Chi, Qigong. Qigong is the practice of combining specific movement and posture together. So TCM itself, okay, here I put here the movie title is because now a lot of younger generation, they know TCM by watching the movies. Okay, so TCM is a unique medical system. It has a few thousand years history and is used in prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of physical illnesses. Here, I would like to have your attention that in the ICD or International Classification Disease, a system used by or published by the WHO to record the medical diseases or health condition. In this ICD-11, which is started in this January of 2022 last year, they've included traditional medicine as one of the component, and traditional Chinese medicine is inside this ICD-11. This shows that the TCM have already gained recognition in the global landscape of medicine, and also this is also a very important what you call it, the milestone for TCM. Before we go further, in Malaysia we have this TNCM or Traditional and Complementary Medicine Act, ACTA TNCM. So it's called ACTA 775. So in this ACTA, which is introduced in year 2016, 1st of August, we have 7 recognized practice areas, which is traditional Malay medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, and traditional Indian medicine. And then for others, we have homeopathy, chiropractic, osteopathy, and Islamic medical practices. From next year onwards, from February 2024 onwards, any Malaysian who wants to practice any of these 7 practice areas must register with our TNCM Council, Ministry of Health. Okay, so under this act, we have acupuncture, moxibustion, cupping, herbal medicine, and tuina under this TCM. So in TCM, I'll give a brief introduction of this TCM before we go into the integrative oncology. In this TCM, we have this core principle. This core principle, first, TCM emphasizes on the holistic view or holistic approach. And then secondly, TCM have this treatment based on pattern differentiation. So what is this integrative holistic view or this holistic approach? First, TCM emphasizes the relationship between the human body and also the nature. So the nature and or the external environment may constantly influence on the internal environment of the human body. So this includes the occurrence and also progression of the tumor in our body. And then secondly, it also emphasizes the relationship between different systems in the human body. For example, if a patient comes with breast cancer, we do not look only at the breast problem, but we also look at other systems, for example, liver, spleen, digestive, and others. So TCM, we have a holistic approach. And then this is what we call systemic conditions that may affect the progression of the cancer. Therefore, cancer treatment should not be limited to only topical foci. It should be systemic. And then for treatment-based pattern differentiation, we have inspection. We look at the facial expression and then also the tongue, what's the color of the lips and others. These are the inspection. Then we have the inquiry. But compared to the modern medicine, the inquiry, we ask some different questions. For example, do you have sweat? And then do you have sweating at the upper part of the body or lower part of the body? And when do you sweat, in the morning or night? So there are certain different questions that for TCM inquiry. Then we have also auscultation and also pulse taking. So for information, this pulse taking, where we put these 3 fingers on your radial artery and take pulse, this is one of a very important diagnostic method in TCM. Okay. So you will see in the movie that it's actually a real condition. And in TCM, when we palpate, we can palpate at least 28 types of different pulse using the TCM method. So does TCM has experience in treating cancer? If you look here, based on the classic, if you look at this word, this Liu, this word Liu was first found in a 3,500 years old oracle bone inscription. Then from this pictogram, you can see that here you can see it's actually a bed. It's a patient's bed. And then this second object, this Liu, is it represents disease, meaning that the previous or TCM physician has observed that once a tumor has been formed, it always will stay and it will not disappear. So the clinical manifestation and causes of cancer is also recorded in the ancient text. So from this ancient text, you can see that you can look at the year of the publication. It's about 2,000 years ago. They have classified different tumors into different names. And the word I, this I is actually cancer. So it is published about 800 years ago. So this I, this is actually in Chinese character sun, mountain. So you can think, what is the connection between a mountain and a tumor? Most probably by its morphology and others. And then if you look at how they describe the cancer in the ancient text, you can see here, this is I translate into English. They describe the morphology. You have the shape of the cave, is perforated and penetrated. When we talk about cancer invasion, mainly in the abdomen for men and mainly in breast for the woman, this is the prevalence of cancer. This remains till the present. We know that, for example, in Malaysia, colorectal cancer is one of the top 3 cancer for men, and then breast cancer accounts for 1/3 of the cancers for Malaysian women. Then we can see they got anatomical position and also the prognosis. Okay, so we are living in the modern era. Then kind Dr. Teo is thinking about what happened 1,000 years ago. Is it still relevant to us? So you can see now traditional and modern TCM practitioner, they are different. The TCM practitioner now, they are trained in university, 5 years program, bachelor program, and they have also learned about traditional medicine and modern medicine. At least 30-40% of the syllabus covers the modern medicine. For example, I graduated for myself, I am a medical doctor trained in modern medicine. I was a rehabilitation medicine medical officer, and then after that, Ministry of Health Malaysia sent me to Beijing to study this integrative oncology, the integrated Western and also TCM management in this cancer care. And then after I returned, I practiced it in Institute Cancer Negara, National Cancer Institute in Putrajaya, Malaysia for the past 5 years. So my seniors, the PhD seniors from my university in Beijing University, they have the chance to further their study in US, for example, the MD Anderson Cancer Center or Yale University. You can see the integration of modern medicine and traditional medicine has advanced and is out from China, and then they are trained in renowned cancer centers. And then we have a branch of TCM that studies the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of cancer from the TCM perspective. Modern TCM practices emphasize multidisciplinary team approach. This is where the integrative oncology comes in. So in China, there are 4 main treatment methods, which is the TCM decoction. You can see these are the decoction pieces, or like what we call the raw material. And also we have TCM pattern medication in tablet form. And then this is only in China. TCM intravenous or intramuscular injection. And then also we have acupuncture, exercise, external was like foot bath and others, music therapy, psychotherapy, and others. So these are the treatment method used in integrative oncology. And here I would like to draw your attention on this medicine. So this medicine, or the Kangleiter injection. Kangleiter is actually a Chinese barley. It has been used for the past 20 years for the treatment of patients with advanced non-small cell lung cancer and hepatocellular cancer. It has passed the US FDA phase 2 clinical trial. It completed in year 2014. And then it is also tested in patients with advanced pancreatic cancer. So you can see now that TCM doesn't limit its usage in only China, but it also enter US and have different clinical trials conducted. So is it safe to use TCM in cancer patients? Patients are always concerned of the safety. Then oncologists are more concerned. So in a study done in our University Kebangsaan Malaysia, our National University of Malaysia in year 2012, they noted that 8 out of 10 cancer patients in Malaysia, they use TCM, and it's higher in oncology compared to the other population. So in fact, most of them, they are taking herbs and others, but they do not tell their oncologists. So, but however, in the study, they also revealed that actually 80% of the patients, they hope that they have these TCM services in their hospital. So in China, TCM has started its research in cancer, in this integrative oncology. When we talk about integrative oncology here is how traditional Chinese medicine method, which I said just now, all this decoction, pattern medication, acupuncture, exercise, how are they going to be integrated into the cancer care treatment? So we know that before enters clinical, they have always researched. TCM has started the research since 1980s. So for the past 30, 40 years, they have conducted the preclinical and clinical study. For more than 3,000 types of herbs, the research has found that about 425 types of herbs have this anti-cancer property, and 20 types of herbs, they are commonly used in the integrative oncology treatment. And then this TCM experimental research, which started on the lab-based screening and quantification of the active phytochemical compound of the herbs, it has advanced into a stage that now they are studying how the herbs are intervening the biological behavioral attributes of the cancer stem cell. So they have gone to the cellular and molecular level. And then these herbs, they are found to have the following function, which they are having this cytotoxic. They can have immunomodulation, regulation of the inflammatory microelement, anti-angiogenesis, and also how they reverse multi-drug resistance. Multi-drug resistance is a very common condition in cancer patients. Okay, so where is, just now we talked about the preclinical research at TCM, but then how this integrative oncology clinical research is heading to. So they are going towards standardization and evidence-based research. They study on the integration of TCM and modern medicine, integrative oncology, improvement of quality of life, and increase of lifespan. The theme of our conference today, how to improve the quality of life, and then they also evaluate the efficacy and how to combine it. Okay, so if we can use TCM in cancer for the quality of life of the cancer patient, but when can we use it? Can we start to use it during chemotherapy, before chemotherapy, or after chemotherapy for the quality of life? When should we use it? Okay, so before that, we need to tell a little a small story. Actually, in this story, this is a Singaporean PCF physician. He have asked the patient diagnosed with early stage breast cancer to delay the surgery for 3 months. So he was suspended for 3 years and fined 10,000 for the serious professional misconduct. And then in this Malaysian news, Petaling in Selangor state in Malaysia, this Mr. Lim, he has noticed that there's a little lump at the neck of the father. So he brought him to a traditional practitioner. So you can see here yang lihat mengubati penyakit kanser, membuang bisa-bisa badan, rambut gugur, sakit angin, penyakit pinggang, demam. It seems like they can treat all types of diseases. So what happened to the father? After 6 months, the father died. But it died not because of the cancer itself, but because of liver failure. Why have a liver failure? Because patient is taking this type of herbs. Okay. So if any, this is one of the most important message that you can bring your family member. If anyone asks, can TCM, traditional Chinese medicine alone treat cancer? The answer is obvious, is no. Okay, why so? Then we have to talk, because now you have evidence-based medicine, everything we need to talk with numbers, with data. So there's a very interesting data in the research conducted in year 2018. So JAMA Oncology published this interesting article about the use of complementary medicine in cancer. So this is a retrospective observation study. They used the data from the US National Cancer Database on 1.9 million patients. Okay, 1.9 million patients from 1,500 accredited cancer centers across the US. And you can see here, the type of cancer they choose is non-metastatic breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, colorectal cancer. Okay, so they have conducted the survey for 10 years, from year 2004 to 2000. And then it is very interesting that I found that those who received the complementary medicine, you can see here is the surviving patient. See, surviving patient, time from analysis. To complementary medicine, they survive longer, higher survival rate. Those who use complementary medicine, they die faster, and then it means high mortality, that then they live shorter. But why this happened? Is it because after they use this complementary medicine, they should already die, or what happened? So it further investigate and noted that actually this survival is not directly related to complementary medicine itself, but the patients who receive the complementary medicine, they have a higher refusal rate of conventional treatment. Conventional treatment such as surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy. Those who receive complementary medicine, 53% refuse for radiotherapy, 33% refuse for chemotherapy. But whereas those who are not using the complementary medicine, only 2 or 3% they are refusing. So from here you can see that patients have higher risk of mortality is because they refuse the conventional cancer treatment. Another interesting fact is that those higher educated patients, they are more likely to refuse the cancer treatment. Okay. So what happened to the patients who refuse the cancer treatment? This is what happened in the patient. When patient knows about the diagnosis of cancer, okay, they are having anxiety, they are confused. So they try to first seek alternative medicine. Okay, so I draw your attention on this word alternative medicine. Alternative medicine is different complementary medicine. Alternative medicine means they replace, means they don't use the modern medicine, they only use alternative. Okay, so now we are not talking about alternative medicine, we're going medicine. So if they use this medicine as alternative medicine, means they have blind faith on this secret TCM recipe, and then suddenly the family member or friends surrounded the patient, they talk bad about chemotherapy. They say, hey, don't go for chemotherapy, don't go for radiotherapy. If you go, then you die. So they exaggerate. So after they exaggerate, then they refuse the proper treatment. They refuse for surgery, chemotherapy, and then some delay, some miss the golden time. So cancer from one place spread it to other place, so patient die. Poor outcome and poor survival. This is always what happened in the real scenario. So in Malaysia, we have this National Strategic Plan for Cancer Control Program. So you can see here, MOH, Ministry of Health, clearly stated that TNCM services to improve the quality of life of the patient. It's not to cure the cancer patient, it's to improve the quality of life of patient, allow them to cope better with treatment. Why cope better with the treatment? Meaning that if patient have a lot of side effect after the chemotherapy and others, maybe patient has to stop the radiotherapy because their white blood cell too low or they have some problem. But we can use TNCM to help them to cope better. We can use herbal therapy, we can use acupuncture, and then for them so that they can stand the side effect, and then you see by reducing the side effect. After reducing the side effect, patient can complete the treatment, and then they can also help in relieving the pain and suffering. So this is a very important concept. Okay. So after 30 years of this research, the scientific achievement of TCM in oncology, they have recognized the role of TCM in the cancer care. So they have this integrative oncology guideline. So the publication of this clinical practice guideline, the Chinese version in 2014 and also English version in 2016. So according to this, TCM, it can be the herbal treatment or acupuncture, they can specifically manage cancer symptoms and related symptoms to improve the quality of life of the cancer patient. So if the patient, for example, after radiotherapy, the mouth, the epithelium is affected, the mouth is very dry. Okay, so patient can take herbs or acupuncture to increase the saliva production and others. Patient, maybe after the therapy, they have this diarrhea, constipation. Okay, this CIPN, chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy. The hands and the leg, they have problems. They have problems with their sensory and also motor function. They cannot hold a pen, the tangan kebas, the hand is numbness. So we can use acupuncture or external wash, herbal wash to improve it. So again, these are the conditions that can help by TCM. So TCM, we have these two principle in this cancer management. So first, what we call as strengthening the body resistance, and secondly, elimination of the pathogenic factor. In short, I call it defense and attack. So we need to know when we can attack and when we should defend. So if you look at in the guideline, you can see that precancerous lesion, early stage of cancer, middle stage of cancer, advanced stage of cancer, they have different approach. For example, if this early stage, this strategy is strengthening body resistance. It's like more to defense. But then if after post-operative, they can use strengthening body resistance and also eliminate pathogenic factor together. So these are some technical words now. But what I'm trying to say is that at different stage of cancer, they have different TCM approach to improve the quality of life. So this is another, this is from the guideline. This is from the guideline. So you can see if there is this gastric cancer, this one is T1, T is the tumor, T1A, okay. T1, this one is stage 1 to 3. So first, if okay, patient go for surgery. After surgery, then patient go for observation, and then we have this consolidation therapy from DCM. If patient, if resectable or unresectable, they have their own pathway. So you can see that this TCM, they are given after the surgery, after the chemotherapy, not before, it's after. But of course, there is, when do we use TCM alone? If patient is in the early stage, they can go for surgery, they can go for chemotherapy, then we do not use alone. Only those you see TCM alone are those who have recurrence and distant metastasis, unresectable cancer, the quality of life is very low, and then only we give supportive care, then only is Chinese medicine alone. Or else we definitely combine with this modern medicine, because this is what we call the integrative oncology. So for TCM, we integrate with surgery, tonifying spleen, qi, regulating stomach function. These are the some of the herbs used. Okay, and this one kurma, red paste for this nourishing qi and blood. Then you can see this one different types of herbs. So yeah, after radiotherapy, let's say got this NPC, nasopharyngeal cancer, then they have this radiotherapy to the head and neck. So patient will be having xerostomia, have this radiation, dermatitis and others. So we use this tianhuaben or sashen. These are the herbs that we cook, and then they will be clearing away the heat and nourishing yin. Of course, some of the patient, for example, the radiation to the pelvis, maybe is let's say prostate cancer and others. So they have problem with their urination. So we will use these herbs. Why am I categorizing this according to parts? Is because I want to show you that different types of herbs, they have different place of action or mechanism. So let's say if that's for goji berry, it is more to the head, but for pai mao or even the barley is more to the urinary system or the lower part of the body. Chemotherapy, we know that patient will have vomiting. So what we can use the halia, the ginger. So it's either a ginger drink or this chenpi is the tangerine peel and others. Okay, so if the patient have a lot of this hair fall, then we can use also the this type of herbs. Then target therapy, you know that target therapy, they have a very good effect, so that it's very expensive, but then it has also a side effect, because after use target therapy, for example, EGFR inhibitor, it acts on the epithelial growth factor, so epidermis is affected, they have this skin problem. Then for our digestive problem, we have this what you call it, the inner layer of the intestine, the epidermis is affected. That's why they have this diarrhea and others. So what we do is we will give patients some herb, because this patient, like one of my patients, after use this diet therapy, they have tumor shrunken, but then patient have diarrhea, let's say like 5 times, 10 times a day. So no quality of life, because patient keep on having diarrhea, very weak, now walk from a chair to another chair. So then patient will ask, why am I taking this target therapy, although the tumor can be shrunken, but then I cannot walk, I cannot do anything, I just go to toilet. So I use these herbs to the patient, and after, I say 3 days, 5 days, and then the diarrhea from 10 times reduced to 5 times, from 5 times reduced to 2 times. So when it's okay, then I stop, then patient will continue to take this EGFR inhibitor. Okay, then besides herbs, we have also acupuncture. Acupuncture is formed from 2 words. Okay, first it is the acus. Acus means needle. Punctura means puncture. So literally by the WHO, acupuncture is to puncture with needle. So acupuncture is also used in these cancer settings. It is part of the cancer care in, like what I said, MD Anderson, the Christie is in Manchester. It's in Manchester. It has been used. You can see it helps with the side effect of cancer in nausea and vomiting, neuropathy, and others. And then you'll be surprised if 1 in 10 cancer survivors in the United States have used acupuncture. Okay. Okay. So many people ask, can we use acupuncture in cancer patient? Because we're scared of like after we get puncture, then the cancer will spread. But you need to know that we have a branch of this what we call it, the acupuncture. It's called oncology acupuncture. So you can see when Western medicine combined with the CAM, complementary alternative medicine, they have this integrative medicine. So within integrative medicine, they have this integrative oncology, and oncology acupuncture is within the integrative oncology, and then it can be used during the treatment and for follow-ups and survivorship. This oncology acupuncture subspecialty has been started in Hana-Farber Cancer Institute in the US. It is the teaching affiliate hospital of the Harvard Medical School. So they have started this since year 2000. So till now already 23 years, this oncology acupuncture. And then acupuncture in NCCN have shown that it can improve the quality of life of the patient by helping in managing the cancer pain, nausea, vomiting, cancer-related fatigue, hot flush, and xerostomia. Okay, so these are some of the research paper. Okay, this one is how electroacupuncture or auricular acupuncture helps in the pain management, systemic review, and meta-analysis. This one just to show you that actually we have this highest level of evidence-based medicine, all this research done in acupuncture in cancer. Okay, for ESMO, European Society of Medical Oncology, in Cancer Journal, when you see this is what they tackle like in integrative oncology: fatigue, hot flush, xerostomia, chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy. Okay, so last, for integrative oncology, can we use the TCMs, what we call the secret TCM recipe from the social media, from Facebook, WhatsApp, and others to treat cancer? Because we know that there's a lot of people having different type. Let's look at these photos of the actual patient. You see in TCM, when we look at the tongue, we look at the tongue proper. Okay, we look at the color and also the shape. This is the normal shape. This is the shape where you can see a lot of tooth print. Okay, so this one is different. This is the pink color. This is actually blue, black, purple color. So you can see the changes in the color and also the shape. And then also the second part is tongue coating. This is the normal tongue coating. But then you see this is the thick tongue coating. It's thick and yellowish. And then this one is thick and whitish. So all these represent different pattern. Okay. Which tongue are you? You can see if it's normal, then it's like this. Qi deficiency, teeth mark. If it's very heaty, then it's when you feel hot, thirsty, then you can see it is yellowish coating. And then if it's what we call dampness retention, then it's white coating. And then patient with cancer or this cardiovascular problem, heart problem, you can see their tongue is not pink color, their tongue is purplish. And then you can see blood stasis, you can see a lot of purplish dots on it. If you're working in ICU, you look at the tongue of your patient, it is always thick, whitish coating. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell is, just now we talked about second principle is the treatment based on pattern differentiation. We have a patient presented to us Then with inspection, auscultation, pulse taking, we know what is the localization of the disease. Then have a clinical pattern, then we give our therapeutic principle, which is if it's a yin deficiency, then we give supplement yin. If it's excessive yang, then we reduce the yang. Okay. Individual diagnosis and treatment, meaning that every patient has their individualized or personalized approach. Okay, I think I'm running out of time. Okay, so herbal doesn't equals to herbal product. This one we know in, for example, in cancer, all these are chemotherapy, paclitaxel, topotecan, but they actually come from plant. Here, I want to bring your attention to, people always ask, can I boil the leaf of this tree because it has like anti-cancer property? Pacific yew, it is the source of paclitaxel. So paclitaxel, we can control the dose and also the frequency in using on cancer patients to treat many types of cancer. But when we say we are using paclitaxel, doesn't mean that we can just pluck a few leaves from the Pacific yew and then just cook like that. Okay. This is a very important message. Herbs is not equivalent to herbal product. Okay. And then many patients ask, what is the best herbs for cancer? In Malaysia, we have this belalai gajah, pipan, mizat. These are also a lot in Java, Indonesia, many parts of Indonesia. The porcupine, bezat, or dates, where they sell very expensive. They use it to treat cancer and others. But these are actually not Chinese medicine, they are folk medicine. And then always I tell my patient there is no best medicine, but patient needs to choose the most appropriate medicine according to the patient's condition. And then we know that herbs, we have herbal-induced liver injury, the kidney will also be affected if the herbs doesn't undergo this quality control. It's in year 2001 the US FDA found out that these herbs have this aristolochic acid which cause cancer in kidney. And then if patient undergoing, although we say integrative oncology, but if patient going for surgery, we always stop the herbs at least 3 to 7 days before the surgery because we do not want the herbs to affect the blood coagulation and cause excessive bleeding, like this case in Singapore where the patient has successful surgery but patient died because taking of some of the herbs.
Sorry, doctor.
Then
5 more minutes.
Yes.
5 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus. So there's 3 pillars of herbal medicine. We have quality, safety, and efficacy. And then nowadays, the herbal medicine, we look into the different of quality, botanic, physical, chemical, biology, and others. So we are not using the plant raw material themselves, but we are using finished herbal product. Finished herbal product, they are registered with the Ministry of Health. Malaysia, herbal authentication is done. So you can see in Malaysia, when we register the traditional medicine, it will be under MALT, means traditional medicine, jamu, minyak gamat, all this. We always tell our patient, if it's not registered, never use the product. Okay, so how to improve the quality of life with integrative oncology, DCM? We know that just now we have talked, many hospital and center has been using this. In MD Anderson in US, in Manchester, then in Malaysia we have 4. This is previously where I worked, Institute Cancer Negara. So I worked from 2018 to this year. I was in Institute Cancer Negara under TNCM unit. I was the head of department, and then we have different services, herbs and acupuncture. We have our SOP, then we have our flow chart, our guideline. This one you can download from our website, Educational Corner. These are some of the articles I publish. Okay, so the last slide, integrative oncology, the integration of modern medicine and traditional Chinese medicine can help to improve the quality of life. And if you have any patients that encounter the following problem, you can always ask them to see a TCM doctor trained in TCM oncology. Not all TCM practitioners, they are trained. You need to find those who are trained in TCM oncology, then they can help to improve the quality of life of the patient. And then with that, I end my presentation. Thank you. This is my center in Port Dickson, Malaysia. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your outstanding topic, Dr. Theo Klashen. You discuss about integrative oncology for quality of life. It's a wonderful one to discuss about and try to make something to bring our life to the next level is, something that always interesting to talk about. And I hope the participant can get something from your explanations. And for those who still want to know more about the topic, we are going to open the Q&A sessions for both online participants and offline participants to Dr. Theo Clashens after the last speaker discusses topic. So I'm so sorry, you need to wait. But before I end our second speaker in the second sessions for Dr. Theo Clashen, please don't go anywhere. We want to give you certificate as the keynote speakers virtually. Please share the screen. Right? Can't you see this the certificate, Doctor?
Yes, yes.
Okay, this certificate is given to you as one of our keynote speakers. Please accept this our certificate, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
One more time, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. I hope that we can see you again real soon. Thank you. We're gonna have a Q&A after the last speaker, Doctor. Is it okay for you?
Roughly what time? After 1 hour, is it?
45 minutes, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
after the last speakers. Yeah, the last speakers have 45 minutes too. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. All right, now we move to our last speakers, Dr. Abhishek Joshi. Are you there, Doctor?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Thank you so much for joining with us. Yeah, I'm so sorry to make you wait. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready for my
All right.
presentation.
Your time is 45 minutes, Doctor, and the screen is yours, please.
Okay, I hope you can see my presentation now and you can hear me properly.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Selamat siang to
Selamat
everyone
siang.
at Palembang. I'm very thankful to the organizers for inviting me as a speaker here. I'm talking today about integrated health services, echoes from the past, need of the present for a better future of the world. Yeah, and I'm talking in an Indian perspective about it. I'm a Ayurveda doctor by profession. I have done my post-graduation and a PhD in Ayurveda, and I'm also a certified yoga therapist. So I give yoga as a therapy and meditations as a therapy. Yeah. I work as a visiting physician in Kerala, India. I'm also working with my firm in USA, and I'm a chair of Ayurveda in Indonesia at Bali. So I'd like to go into my topic. Before I go into the topic, I would like all of us to understand the sequence of how the diseases were defined or focused throughout the human civilization. The evolutionary causes of diseases, say in the prehistoric age, was more of violence and malnutrition. They were the main problems back then. And then came the industrial age. It was an age of infectious diseases. And now, is the automation age, where we are going into AI, and there's more of lifestyle diseases, which are popping up everywhere. And it's a big menace right now. Now, lifestyle diseases also include diseases like coronary artery diseases, diabetes, obesity, hyperlipidemia, hypertension, skeletal disorders, cancers, and even AIDS. 80% of the medical costs worldwide is because of these lifestyle disorders. 80% of the government spending on health sector is for this lifestyle disorder. So it's a big menace. It's a big burden on the whole humanity and on every government right now. The main causes are related to, yes, alcohol. The dietary factors play a very important role. The sedentary life, the stress, and smoking is almost a causative factor in almost all these lifestyle disorders. Now, we just see the tree, the tree with branches and leaves, and this is like the lifestyle diseases. The tree is like lifestyle diseases, but the root cause behind all these diseases is either inflammation, stress, very poor diet, some endotoxins, lack of sleep, poor relationship, mental trauma, nutritional deficiencies, lack of exercise, genetics, or maybe poor indigestion. An approximate cost, if I give you some numbers, in USA the medical budget is 1 trillion per annum. That is 3 billion per day is spent on health. If I talk about the Indian medical budget, it is around 46 million per day is spent on poor health. In Australia, it's around 100 million per day. Yeah. So this is just the quantifiable cost, which is the medical cost, but the intangible cost is 9% plus to this numbers what I've just said. So lifestyle disease is a big menace, and we need to really look into this, how to solve this. And solving this will not just require one single pathy or one single line of medication. It will require combination. It will require synergy between different systems of medicine. Because as I explained the tree looks from the top, this is problems are there, but the root causes many. If you want to remove all these root causes, integrative medicine is the answer. Yeah, because for these lifestyle diseases, you need to look into wellness. You need to look into mental well-being, physical, emotional, intellectual well-being, social well-being. Also, the environment has to be a part of it, and also it should be spiritual well-being. Yeah, and when you talk of all these factors, yeah, more of the term which we call complementary and alternative medicines plays a big role in helping this. Yeah, so it is poised that in the ensuing decades to serve the global community, it will be the treatment of choice when it comes to lifestyle disorders, because this pathy is scam. It is not just aiming at treating, but it is also aiming at physical, mental, spiritual well-being. Yeah, and this is more of a natural and a sustainable living which can be attained by integrating different pathis, if different systems of medicines. Yeah, so according to WHO, a report tells 70% of the world population still believes and accepts alternative medicines and therapies. Yeah, it includes homeopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, acupuncture, aromatherapy, herbal medicines, dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, yoga, which is a non-invasive way of treatment. Yeah, mind-body techniques, spirituality or faith healing and massages. The current trend is indicative of a continuous demand of CAM therapies worldwide. Yeah, the global situation, this was back in 2002, a report by WHO. It tells China is 40%, Chile is 71%, India is 65%, Australia 48%. These are the numbers of the people which prefer CAM medicines, traditional medicines. What is Ayurveda? My field of specialization is a traditional but a scientific system of natural healing originated from India, which is recognized by World Health Organization. It is a Sanskrit word. It's made up of two words, Ayu and Veda. It forms the word Ayurveda. Ayu means life, life of any living being on this planet Earth is Ayu. I know there is also common name. It's a common name in Indonesia, especially in Bali. I have seen many Ayus, but the meaning is slightly different when it comes to Sanskrit. Yeah, the meaning of Ayu in Indonesia is Cantik. Yeah, beautiful. In Sanskrit, the word Ayu means life. Yeah, it is not just human life, it is animal life or even life of plants around us. So Ayurveda is, in short, the knowledge of life. So this science does not just aim to eradicate or remove diseases, but it is the knowledge of life, how to live a healthy life. The preventive aspects of diseases are more concerned along with curative aspects. So it can be a part of daily life. It can help to prevent or to reverse diseases and to enable positive health and well-being in people. Yeah. So what is the status of this integrative medicine in India? So back in 1970, traditional and complementary medicines, there was a national legislation formed in India. Government of India created a separate department called as Department of Indian System of Medicine in 1995. Further, in 2002, according to the National Policy on Indian System of Medicines and Homeopathy, was created in 2002. And later, there was a Department of Ayush under the Health Ministry. Yeah, under the Ministry of the Health, it was administered as a small department. Like at present, it is existing in Indonesia. Yeah, there is a department, there is a faculty of alternative medicines which is looking in Indonesia under the Ministry of Health, Kementerian Kesehatan. Under that is Department of Alternative Medicines. But the big change came in 2014 when an independent functional ministry was formed directly under the government of India, and it was named as Ministry of Ayush. Yeah, so national government issues licenses, for the practitioners of Ayush. You have to study a course which is 5.5 years degree program, and then you get a degree called as BAMS. You might have seen in my initials, Bachelor of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery. It's a 5.5 years degree program. Then you get an MD degree, a master post-graduation degree, which is another 3 years of study. And then finally a PhD. That depends on your caliber, how you can finish in 2 years to 5 years. So licenses are issued to all these Ayush practitioners from the Ayush Ministry. The status of TCM in Indonesia. This is according to a WHO global report on traditional and complementary medicines in 2019. It states, as per 2000 data from the National Basic Health Survey, 40 to 59% of the population of Indonesia uses TM practices and herbal medicines, basically jamu. Yeah, TNCM practices of acupuncture, Ayurvedic medicine, chiropractics are used, but the data of percentages is not available. Just imagine 40 to 59% of population is already into integrative medicine. And why we are forcing only allopathic system of medicine? It is needed. It is the mainstream medicine, yes, but integration has to happen at some point. Yeah, and that is where, in mid-2017, World Health Organization's Traditional and Complementary Medicine Unit was renamed as Integrative Medicine. That is what the previous presenter, Dr. Theo, mentioned. Yeah, the integrative medicine is the new term coined by WHO. Traditional, the complementary medicine has been removed because it's very hard to decide what is complementary. When in Indonesia 59% people are into the alternative medicines, how can it be complementary medicine? It has to be mainstream. It has to be created into the mainstream because it is the main medicine which was existing since ages. And that's why the new term, integrative medicine, is catching up the pace. So this unit is officially referred as TCI now, traditional, complementary, and integrative medicine. Yeah, many separate projects are underway to define and understand at what level the integration has to happen in the integrative medicine. So need and scope. Why do you need integration of medicine? The developed countries are telling, we have this allopathic medicine and we don't need sometimes. The developing countries need that, and they have this strong backbone of their traditional systems of medicine. As George Louis Borges tells, what you really value is what you miss, not what you have. Traditional medicine like Jamu in Indonesia, Ayurveda in India, Chinese medicine in China have become an extremely valuable commodity to the world today, precisely because it provides the world what it misses the most, that is holistic care. Care not just for the body, but also for the mind and the spirit. Yeah. The low economic developing countries have this huge possibility of traditional medicine, which is already existing. But, the developed country misses this holistic wisdom. These developing countries, they cannot afford the high cost medicines, what is existing in the developed world, but they have the knowledge of this holistic medicine, which is implicit in the traditional medicines. Yeah, so both can complement to each other. The factors attracting the attention of the world to holistic health approach. It is holistic in nature. So it is body, mind, and soul triangle, which is covered when you talk of holistic medicine. When it comes to Ayurveda, it is an individualized medicine which works on the body constitution. Every individual is unique. That is what Ayurveda tells. Every individual is specific. So the medicines which is given to that person also needs to be specific. It cannot be generalized. Yeah, that is what Ayurveda tells. Yeah. So the concept of homeostasis, the balance of body, mind, and soul, is of prior importance in Ayurveda. Yeah, and that's why it's catching up the pace. There's deep spiritual thinking of Ayurveda resulting in a respectful attitude towards nature and ecological balance. Yeah, and hazardous effect of chemical therapeutic agents are not worried of when we talk of holistic medicines. And the system is in harmony with nature, because the system depends on nature, on herbs which are available in the nature. Integrative medicine in India, the moment came, after the mega launch of Fit India movement. The Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, said that his life is going health and fit because of yoga, pranayam, and Ayurveda. And under his valuable leadership, government is making efforts to integrate Ayurveda, yoga, and other traditional medical systems into public healthcare system. Yeah, this is the base. This was the change in the mentality when Ayush Ministry was formed, a separate ministry which looks into development of all the complementary and alternative medicines existing in India. So efforts were made, and it manifested as Ministry of Ayush, which deals exclusively into standardizations, scientific approach, promotion of Ayurveda, yoga, and traditional systems of medicine. The main objective of this ministry is formulation of policy issues for development and propagation of Ayush systems of healthcare, conception and implementation of the programs which are created into the healthcare system, how it can be incorporated, involved, and connected to the mainstream health system. Yeah. Also, the coordination and promotion of research and development in Ayush healthcare system, setting up maintenance of central institutions for research, development, education, and setting of standards which can compete with the international standards for alternative medicines in India. So a series of administrative and policy measures were undertaken, and it is mainstreaming the alternative system of medicine more than ever after the ministry was formed. Yeah. So there are many systems, many policies going on parallel within Indian framework, within the main framework under the Ministry of Health in India. A parallel policy is going under Ayush Ministry. There is National Health Protection Scheme is going on. National Ayush Mission is there. Mission Madhumeha, which focuses on diabetes control to herbal alternatives, is going on. And Ayush Gram have been planned and executed nicely in many of the districts, many of the provinces in India. Now, this is also helping the exponential growth in Ayush market in terms of economy. Ayush Ministry has witnessed a considerable growth in market size after the upgradation of Department of Ayush to Ministry of Ayush in 2014. Yeah, Ayush manufacturing industry was 21,697 crores. This is equivalent to 2.85 billion US dollars in 2014. And in the recent study, it tells it has grown from 2.85 billion to 18.1 billion within just 7 years of creating a ministry. 6 times rise in the economics of this industry in India. These are a few other numbers given by Ayush Ministry, yeah, which indicates exponential growth. Now, what is the asset of this ministry in India? This parallel integrative concept which is running in India, there's 12 institutions which come under Ayush Ministry. There are 5 research organizations. There's Public Sector Unit 1. There are 2 subordinated offices, and there are 2 regulatory commissions. So Ayush medicines included in National Clinical Management Program for COVID. So when COVID guidelines were given to the country of India by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi, he included the COVID guidelines issued by the Ayush Ministry. Around 700,000 Ayush doctors in India offered services to the COVID management in India, and it was a big workforce which assisted the mainstream allopathic doctors working along with Ayush principles, Ayush guidelines as well. So healthcare and public health, yeah. So National Ayush Mission, one of the initiatives is implementing a flagship scheme called as National Ayush Mission. It has main core 8 focus areas, which are National Program for Prevention and Management of Osteoarthritis and other musculoskeletal diseases, integration of Ayush with national programs for prevention, control of cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and stroke, NPCDCS. Supraja is a program which exclusively looks into maternal and neonatal intervention. Vayomitra is exclusive Ayush care, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy care into geriatric healthcare, old care, old age care, Vayomitra. Ayurveda, the health lifestyle through Ayush for school children, educating children about alternative medicines in schools. This is like, training the kids when they are at better. Ayush mobile medical units are there. There are no hospitals. There is less reach of government healthcare. There's mobile units there. There's Ayush palliative care, and there are national programs of Ayush for morbidity management and disability prevention of lymphatic filariasis. Just an example of what Ayush is doing. There was a global Ayush investment summit and innovation summit held in 2022 last year. Many countries participated. In this single summit, there were 70 memorandum of understanding signed between countries, different institutes around the world. With this one summit, the Ministry of Ayush was able to attract a total investment of 1.3 billion USD in 3 days. Can you imagine? A big economic factor generated because of complementary medicine. This is how big this integrative concept can be if it is included in the mainstreaming of the medicine. Yeah. And the biggest news was establishing of WHO GCTM, World Health Organization Global Center for Traditional Medicine was established at Jamnagar, Gujarat in India by a collaboration between Ministry of Health of India, Ayush Ministry of India, World Health Organization, and ITRA, Institute of Technology Research in Ayurveda at Jamnagar. This is one of the centers of WHO where global research will happen. Yeah. And what it does is blending of ancient practices with the modern science. Integration is happening, and that is what WHO is also committed to at this center. Another institute, Premier Institute of Ayurveda, is All India Institute of Ayurveda. It was established and inaugurated in 2017. It has 25 specialty departments with 12 clinic and 8 interdisciplinary researchers. And approximately 1,600 patients coming and taking treatment on a daily basis with a 200-bed referral hospital, and it was also giving comprehensive care against COVID-19 back in 2020, 2019, and COVID was at its peak. It was also as a palliative center, promotive center for COVID. There are many such institutions, as I mentioned, 12 institutions which are existing under the Ayush Ministry, and Ayush practices in both public and private sector hospitals. I'll just give you an example, why we need integrative system. Why this echoes from the past, as I mentioned, the ancient knowledge of Ayurveda, which is in need of the present, yeah, and it is our future. I'll give an example of turmeric, yeah, turmeric, which is very easily available in Indonesia also, kunyit, yeah, as we know, and is one of the main ingredients of jamu. There are around 10,280 researchers published on curcumin, the active ingredient of kunyit or turmeric. 4,026 research studies published in reputed journals. 2,990 research studies published only on curcuma longa variety of turmeric. Only on this one variety, there are 2,900 studies published. And 76 plus research studies published on Ayurveda aspect of turmeric. Let us understand this. Now, because before 30 years, if you go to a medical doctor and you tell, I'm taking turmeric for healing, the doctor used to tell it is just color. It just gives color, it is not of medicinal values. Yeah, I'm talking about before 30 years. But now, what is the scenario is because of all these researches, which has happened on kunyit, it is accepted, it is well accepted as a medicine by modern allopathic system as well. Modern scientifically proven benefits. It has anti-inflammatory activity. The effect of turmeric was comparable to hydrocortisone, a steroidal drug prescribed for treatment of many inflammatory and allergic conditions, and now turmeric is a very good anti-allergic medicine. Now, modern findings include antioxidant activity, anti-inflammatory activity, anti-cancerous activity, anti-growth, anti-arthritic, anti-atherosclerotic, anti-depression, anti-aging, anti-diabetic, antimicrobial and wound healing, hepatoprotective, memory enhancing activities of turmeric researched and published. Turmeric has also wonderful healing capacities. Turmeric's history goes back to more than 2000 years to the heyday of Ayurveda and Sushruta Samhita dating 200 BC to relieve the effect of consuming poisoned food and for wound healing. Yeah. Its efficacy is very well monitored and many research studies have been published about its wound healing properties. Yeah. Around 235 active components are found out just in turmeric. Just imagine, like one curcumin took 30 years to get established as a medicine. There are 235 active components. How much time? It is working as a medicine, which Ayurveda, with the holistic system of medicine, has been telling through ages. Now, I'll take attention to few concepts. Ayurveda tells the herb is lekhaniya, means it has scraping property. Yeah, the potential use of turmeric based on modern sciences, it is very effective for stones. This deepen activities, it enkindles the digestive fire in the system, which is very good according to Ayurveda pathology for hypothyroidism. It is very good in prameha, useful in diabetes, as a medicine. It is pandughna. It is also very good in anemic condition, and it is a rakta shodhana property of Ayurveda, which means it is a blood purifier, and it is very useful in all the inflammatory diseases like arthritis, inflammatory bowel diseases, pancreatitis, allergies, cancer, gastric ulcers. Yeah. Another very well studied chart is there, for your reference of different studies which are done on turmeric itself. Some significant developments which are done by Ayush Ministry. Yeah, Ayush 64 for malaria, 777 oil for psoriasis, Ayush 56 for epilepsy. I can name a number of research studies which are done under Ayush Ministry to promote and well research based studies to create more acceptance, world acceptance for Ayush medicines, for Ayurveda medicines. Yeah, and collaborations are also happening. Project collaboration agreement PC has been signed with WHO. 21 country to country MOUs have been signed. There are 13 Ayurveda chairs around the world. Ministry of Ayush is supporting government of Cuba to develop a Panchakarma center, a treatment center of Ayurveda. Ministry of Ayush is providing technical support, establishment of Ayush hospitals in Mauritius. And BIMSTEC works are also going on in Myanmar. Now, why we need, both the old system, old or the main system which is existing in many of the Asian countries, along with the modern allopathic system. It is like to win a battle, you need a sword as well as a shield. Modern medicine, the allopathic medicine has very good sword strategy and offensive strategy. Ayurveda and other complementary and alternative medicines has more of a defensive strategy for health protection. Yeah. So if traditional Ayurveda and conventional medicine works hand in hand, many problems of healthcare can be solved, and the big thing is expenditure can be reduced. As there's a philosophy in Veda, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. That which exists is one, and the wise men call it by various names. This philosophy is applicable to all kinds of pharmaceutical systems or all the health system as well. Respect for every healthcare system which is promoting health and well-being of all, and wish for each one's progress is the need of the time. So what can be the next step? Multi-professional health collaboration is needed, which includes the holistic sciences, is an essential approach to address the menace of burden of diseases, especially in developing countries like India, Thailand, Indonesia. It is very much needed. The healthcare policies here needs to be patient centric, not a pathy centric, not allopathy, homeopathy. No, not pathy centric, but it has to be patient centric. And true success of any healthcare system and the test of the new integrity approach will lie in its ability to recognize, respect, maintain the respective identities, philosophies, foundation, methodologies, and strength of all the systems. Yeah. I would like to finish my presentation with a statue of Ayurveda surgeon, the former surgeon of Ayurveda, Shushrutacharya. The statue is there present at Royal Australian College of Surgeons in Melbourne, because he was the one of the first foremost pronouncer of rhinoplasty, the nasal operations, surgeries, and autoplasty, yeah, which have been acknowledged and adapted by modern surgeries. If you want to connect me further, you can connect with me on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, Ayurveda Expert. You can connect with me on my website, ayurvedaexpert.in, and on my YouTube page, @authentic.ayurvedaexpert. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. But yes, working together is success. Terima kasih to everyone for your patient listening, and all the organizers for giving me a chance to come and speak at this international conference. Terima kasih.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek Joshi, for your wonderful topic. You discussed about integrated health services. It's great to know the meaning of Ayurveda, which means knowledge of life, and knowing science of Ayurveda can be part of daily life to prevent reverse disease and to enable positive health and well-being. I guess is something else. And furthermore, the government making effort to integrate Ayurveda, yoga, and other traditional medical systems into public healthcare system is another kind of something that we can support and even develop in, I guess. And I hope the participants can get something from your comprehensive explanations about integrated health services. And for those who still want to know more about this topic, we are going to open the Q&A sessions for both online participants and offline participants. And we open Q&A sessions for both Dr. Theo Clashens. Are you still there, Dr. Theo? Oh, okay. Actually, we're gonna open the questions and answer sessions for both Dr. Theo Classians and for Dr. Abhishek Yusi. And please mention your name and also mentions who you want to ask the questions for. Please raise your hands. Over here.
Is Dr. Teo present in the meeting? I don't see him. Mr. Fidel, please cross-check. I don't see Mr. Dr. Teo there.
Dr. Theo? There is no Dr. Theo? Or oh, so we miss Dr. Theo, yeah. IT, Septian. There's no Dr. Tio. Yeah. Hah? Oh. Oh, so there is no more Dr. Tio in our right? Maybe we can open the questions for Dr. Abhishek first. Is there any questions for Dr. Abhishek Yosi? Please. Yes, okay. Doctor, we have one questions for you from offline participants. Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Abhishek. Uh, my name is Lilis. I'm the one lecturer from Health Polytechnic Palembang. I'm for pharmacy major here, so that's why I think having listened to your presentation is so amazing for me. My question is only one. Can we combine the traditional complementary medicine with modern medicines, especially for Ayurveda program? Thank you very much.
Shall I answer now, Mr. Pati?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
answer that
thank
now,
you.
doctor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this question, Miss. It's a very important question and a much needed question right now, which many people are asking to me. Can you combine? The answer is a big yes. We are combining already. Like my practice in India and around the world, I have my patients around 40 plus countries in the world, and I'm successfully able to treat patients, bring down the burden of medicines which they're taking. Like suppose if you see a heart patient, sometimes the patient is having like 12 to 13 medicines in one box, packed all the time, and the patient is taking more of tablets than food. Sometimes we feel like that, yeah. So what combination, what integrative medicine is doing is, it is helping to reduce the burden of these medicines. So yes, we need to combine. There is more research which is needed to do on these studies, that what happens when combination does. But in my clinical practice, I'm successfully combining this, working on this, and I'm getting amazing results on my patients. So yes, my answer is a big yes to your question. Yes, we should combine. And that's what, even World Health Organization is also looking for that combination. And that's why it's no more traditional and complementary medicine. It is integrative medicine, where you have to integrate different systems of medicine, bring together into a synergy, and then the treatment should be planned.
Okay.
Is there any contraindications?
Contraindications for combining, you mean?
Yes,
See,
I
yes,
mean like that.
yes. When you talk of chemical constituents, chemical components, there can be a huge amount of contraindications. Like because you're working on extracts, you're working on chemicals. When it comes to herbal medicines, as I mentioned an example of curcumin, turmeric. Curcumin is one of the active components which the modern pharmaceutical industry or the modern medical industry is targeting. Yeah, and it is proven effective. Yeah, as I showed many researchers, it has proven effective. Now just imagine 235, how many years it will take to prove that it is effective, it is working. Yeah, but when it comes to herbal medicine, it is a combination, it is in a crude form. It is not a chemical form but a crude form, and that's why it is more easier to administer. There are less contraindications. Like kunyit is a kitchen herb in Indonesia. Yeah, you don't need to go and buy it in the market, in your garden. Yeah, ada di dekat rumah, ya, you have kunyit there. Tidak mau ke pasar untuk botol kunyit, ya. But this is what is happening in Western countries. Kunyit capsule, kunyit herbal capsule For 50 capsules, ada $8. Are you understanding? We have this rich knowledge in our garden. We have to use this knowledge. This is the richness which is there in Indonesia and as well as in my country in India. So we have to adapt this knowledge to help and improve the life of our people and the world at large.
Thank you for your explanation. I don't think so. I should speak English. I can speak Indonesian with you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, saya bisa, saya bisa.
Okay, right. All right, we have another questions. Sir, yeah, please give the mic to.
Thank you very much. I am Sonli Marmangunsong from pharmacy. As a pharmacy, I am interested in oncology. Yeah, because I am pharmacy, my research related to oncology in immunohistochemistry. Some can be by PCR to observe it. Oncology is associated in expert. So the first time I would like to ask how to be, we say expert in oncology, but is in nowadays it's so very much in expert in oncology. Can be nurse, can be pharmacist, can be a doctor, and so on. Maybe may we exchange our explanation about who can be the expert in oncology. And the next, oncology, we related to associated, you say that in your topic, associated with TCM, associated with cancer, associated also in herb and medicine. What you have been done in Malaysia, okay, based of experience as a health professional collaboration in bridging TCM to the patient to treat the cancer. Because anything we eat or drink can potentially be harmful, not all for food, but also medicine, herb, or anything, or inherently safe and potential to make a risk. So many plants and herbs have potential interact as the first question before. So can we discuss on, you give experience how to overcome the interacts of that herbs or herbs to medicine? Thank you.
Sir, maybe your question is for Dr. Theo, I guess.
Okay, yeah, just only to the first speaker.
I need to call Dr. Theo first. Is he there? Dr. Theo, are you there? Have you joined with us? All right, we have Dr. Theo now. Okay, wait. Yeah. Have you heard it? The question? Do you need to repeat?
I cannot hear clearly, but then I think I get the meaning about the herbal drug interaction, herbal interaction, and especially in oncological field. So just now for the first question, who can be called an oncology expert? Yeah. So in Malaysia, under this Malaysian Medical Council, we have this specialist organization, we call it the NSR, National Specialist Register. So if you would like to call yourself as a medical oncologist or clinical oncologist, you must be a doctor specialized in oncology field, trained in this field, at least a master, and then gazetted in the Ministry of Health. Then register with NSR, then only you can be called oncologist. We have medical oncologists and clinical oncologists. Medical oncologists mainly use the medicine, but then clinical oncologists can use the radiotherapy in oncology. Okay, so not everyone can call themselves as oncologists. Only those who are registered with this NSR, they call themselves clinical oncologists. But if we talk about the word expert, then a lot of many people call themselves expert. So expert, this word is not regulated. But if you use oncologist, this word, or specialist or consultant, and even doctor, then you'll be regulated under the Malaysian Medical Act 1971. Okay, so this is for the terminology oncology. Then for the herbal drug interaction, we know that there's a lot of different type of herbs and others, but you need to be aware also that herbal medicine in China, in India also, they have undergone at least 30 to 50 years of research. So different level, in China and India, we have a lot of great university with a very great research potential. So they have all these evidence-based medicine. They have proven different types of reaction and others. That's why just now when you ask whether we know this herbal drug interaction or not, of course we know. If you don't know the herbal drug interaction, then how can you use the herbs on the patient? So this is what we are trained for clinically. So we need to know, like, for example, patient is on warfarin. What type of Chinese herbal medicine you cannot use at all, and then which one you can use and when to use. If you do not have this information, then how can you prescribe the herbal medicine? Because this is prescription now, this is not food. So the difference between herbs and food, herbal medicine and food, one of the very important concept that you need to know is the dosage and frequency. If you, just now like what Dr. Abhishek said, if you take from the garden, if it's crude or this raw material, it's in quite low dosage. So it can be taken as food, even like red dates or curcumin. But if you take a very high dose, those who concentrated and extracted one, let's say the curcumin capsule, then it's already considered a medicine. So in this medicine, you need to use with indication. So all these finished herbal product, which we use in Malaysia, they are registered with MPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, Bahagian Pharmacy Malaysia, and then they have clear indication, minimum and maximum dosage of each of these herbs. And then these herbs, because Malaysia, we do not have our own pharmacopoeia in this herbal medicine, so we are referring to the US, European, and also China and Taiwan's pharmacopoeia. So they have all this information within it. But then in simple words, when we advise patients how to prevent this herbal drug interaction, we advise them to take 2 hours apart, meaning that if, let's say, I'm taking statin, I'm taking a modern medicine now, so usually at least 2 hours apart so that the interaction will not happen inside the stomach. We know that 2 to 4 hours is the gastric emptying time. So with this, and then most importantly, the one who prescribe must know about herbal drug interaction. If they do not know about herbal drug interaction, they cannot prescribe the herbs. This one is the very basic knowledge. That's why we say that now for traditional Indian medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, we need to have bachelor. Now it's not only bachelor, it's 5 years bachelor degree, 3 years master degree, and 3 years PhD. In China, at least 11 years of training, and then train in clinical, then only you can use, practice it. It's not like you just take this information from turun take from ancestor and use it. You must be clinically trained, and then in China and India, a lot of these traditional hospital. So we are trained in this hospital. For example, in where I trained in Beijing University of Chinese Medicine, our hospital, they know, the TCM doctors, they know how to use herbal medicine, they know how to use ventilator, they know how to use the modern medicine together. So like what Dr. Abhishek said, now it's about integrative medicine. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, then the next question, sir, I would like to know where we get the reference, how to know the one herbs can be interact to another herbs, where we saw that the reference. Until right now, I don't know, I have not read it. How to know the what herbs can be, because in TCM or is so many compound to be combined over that. So that how we know that one herbs can be interact or not to another herbs. Thank you. It's the final question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. This is very important question. For example, in Malaysia, we have an institute under National Institute of Health. We have Institute of Medical Research, and under Institute of Medical Research, we have a Herbal Medicine Research Center. So this research center and this medical institute, they have this information. I believe in Indonesia, you have your own research center with this information, and then they are collecting the data from all the published paper around the world, for example, in China, Canada, US, and others. So we have a database in our research center. But then, like what I told you, in Malaysia, we haven't published this pharmacopoeia or any document related to this. But then the data can be taken from this research center. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Right, I guess there is another questions. Please mention your name and can we go to the back of the round table first, okay? All right, yeah. Please make. Wait, we still have time.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon all. I want to ask with Dr. Teo because I'm very interested in TCM material. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Sally Solbur, one of lecturer of Poltekkes Palembang. Dr. Teo, the material you convey about TCM is very nice and interesting, especially for cancer treatment. Relate to that, I have a mother who is currently undergoing dialysis because of hypertension. I want to ask, can this TCM therapy also be applied to patients who are on dialysis? And how it's applied to this patient? Can it be done by the patient himself, or does it have to be done by a therapist? And what is recovery percentage, and can it be combined with dialysis? Maybe it's enough. I think it's my question. Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you for the question. First, in oncology, before we give any herbal medication, we will take a baseline blood investigation, meaning that before starting the herbal medicine, we will take, in our National Cancer Institute, we will take this full blood count, we will take the renal profile, liver function test, and others. So we look at the EGFR, glomerular filtration rate. So we will see what's the level of the this patient, what's the condition, whether the patient got CKD or not. So from there, after we prescribe the herbs, 1 month, 3 months, then we will observe and also monitor. Because some patients, they don't have these symptoms, but then their deterioration is shown in the blood investigation. So in oncology, we always monitor blood closely. We work hand in hand with oncologists in this method. So this one is for oncology patient. Here in Malaysia, we got, but then very little, expert in TCM nephrology. TCM nephrology deals with patients with chronic kidney disease, patients which may or potentially or already undergoing this hemodialysis. So in China, their special subject is called TCM nephrology. So patients with different level of chronic kidney disease, even those who are dialysis, they undergoing this herbal therapy and acupuncture, but they are closely monitored under hospital setting, and then it will be reviewed by nephrologists from time to time. Because, like what we say, integrative oncology, the patient's history, medication they are taking, and their treatment plan will be reviewed by multidisciplinary team approach, meaning that the nephrologist and also the TCM nephrology expert, they will work together for that patient. Yeah, I hope I answer your question.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Teo, for your explanation.
All right. Yeah, we have another question because we still have time. All right. From the right wing first. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. Hello, Mr. Teo. Nice to meet you. Okay, I'm Wella Juatika from the Lubuk Linggau Study Program Poltekkes Kemenkes Palembang. Hopefully, we can collaborate in the future for cancer management. The next, inshallah. Where breast cancer is the #1 cause of the death in the woman. I am interested in the problem of cancer, study latar belakang pendidikan, background. Where cancer has many impact, whether medical action is taken or not, such as chemotherapy and so on. My question, how to simplify the impact to TCM in the CINV? CINV, chemotherapy induced nausea and vomiting, focus case. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Sorry, I don't understand your question. Can you repeat again?
Mungkin bisa dibantu, Mr. Peter.
I couldn't get the question, sorry.
Bagaimana menyederhanakan dampak yang timbul dari terapi TCM pada kasus CINV, kemoterapi induced nausea and vomiting, atau dampak dari kemoterapi pada mual muntah, gitu. Terima kasih.
Okay, so Institut Kesehatan Negara kita pernah menjalani yang research untuk CINV, maksudnya chemotherapy induced nausea dan vomiting. Apa yang kita lakukan ialah kita menggunakan jarum acupuncture. So acupuncture ini kita letak pada 2 titik, satu titik pada tangan, satu pada kaki. So dengan 4 titik acupuncture ini, kita menggunakan acupuncture, electroacupuncture, maksudnya acupuncture jarum ini disambungkan kepada elektrod untuk stimulasi selama 20 minit dan kita memberi rawatan ini 20 minit sebelum kemoterapi. Dan kita mendapati bahawa acute vomiting, maksudnya mual, loya dan juga muntah dalam acute stage berkurang sebanyak 40%. Bermaksudnya dengan intervensi this acupuncture saja ada kesan yang sangat baiklah, keberkesanan yang tinggi. Tetapi kita juga menggunakan ubat herbal seperti halia, just now we said tangerine peel dan lain-lain untuk synergy effect lah, untuk sebagai synergy effect dengan acupuncture untuk CINV. Saya dapat menjawab soalan tak? Muka anda nampak macam tak faham apa yang saya cakap kan?
Ya, begini Mr. Teo. Jadi memang latar pendidikan saya adalah keperawatan medikal bedah gitu. Pada saat untuk tesis saya kebetulan itu khusus onkologi, saya fokus pada mual muntah. Memang beberapa level dari mual muntah itu cukup tinggi. Yang berani kita ambil adalah mual muntah dengan level rendah pada pelaksanaan keperawatan. Karena kita tidak akan jauh dari kolaborasi bersama medis gitu ya. Karena dampak dari beberapa kolaborasi dengan medis yaitu dengan kemoterapi dan obat-obatan kemoterapi itu ternyata juga ada levelnya, ada ciplastin, doxorubicin dan itu berbeda-beda nanti level untuk dampak pada mual muntah. Sehingga pada saat saya melakukan penelitian itu kesulitan saat memberikan tindakan keperawatan menggunakan beberapa terapi yang banyak seperti akupuntur, akupresur itu sudah kita cobakan tapi tetap perubahannya itu sedikit gitu Mr. Theo. Sehingga untuk meminimalkan misalnya kita menambahkan tindakan lain yang ada pada TCM tadi itu supaya meminimalisir jangan sampai bertambah gitu Mr. Theo. Terima kasih.
Yang research finding yang tentang CINV ini boleh dapat daripada research paper JAMA Oncology. Kerana yang acupuncture untuk CIMV ini dia ialah eksperimen atau eksperimen yang pertama dilakukan di UK lah. When it first start integrated oncology, ini adalah yang pertama dilakukan di UK, dijalankan di UK. So memang dia ada kesan dia, tetapi patient selection, mana pesakit yang sesuai, mana yang pesakit yang sesuai, itu penting juga. Like what you said lah. Because in view, kita tahu apa yang result daripada clinical research dengan yang real life, actual life memang berbeza. Oke, terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih Mr. Peter. Terima kasih Mr. Theo.
Alright, thank you. I don't have to translate that. Yeah. Okay, we still have questions. Alright, from left wing. Wait a second. Alright, Mick, please. Please mention your name and you want to ask a question for who that saja.
Okay, thank you. Selamat sore, speakers. Yeah, I would like ask with Mr. Theo and also Mr. Abhishek. Maybe as introduction before I will deliver some question. As we know, ethiopathology of cancer is unclear. Still now, there are many factors including genetic, epigenetic, and impact to overexpression oncogene and proto-oncogene to be cause cancers. And I have an interesting things about interpersonal medicine. According your presentation, you mentioned about interpersonalized medicine approach, both TCM and also maybe Ayurveda. And how about the evidence base of gene targeting therapy as interpersonal medicine in cancer? If we related with TCM and also Ayurveda, how about your opinion? My question is clear, or maybe I will repeat. I mean, TCM and Ayurveda as gene therapy, gene targeting therapy in cancer is potential to use. And then how about the evidence base? Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Abhishek, I answer first now. So for this research in gene therapy, target therapy, and also herbal medicine, the past 5 to 8 years, China have been doing a lot. Meaning that if I use a target therapy and together I use this herbal medicine, whether this herbal medicine increase the efficacy of the target therapy or reduce the efficacy of this target therapy. This is very important questions, because if you do not have this data, you cannot simply give the herbal medicine, because herbal medicine, it costs only like maybe from 50 to 100 ringgit Malaysia. It's like only like 30, 40 USD. But then for this target therapy, 1 month, we don't say month now, 1 day, it may cost up to $200-300 one day. So it's very expensive. So if it's so expensive, we cannot simply use $20-30 herbal medicine to intervene without any evidence. So they have carried out. They found that certain herbal medicine can reduce the efficacy, certain can increase. So because when we talk about personalized medicine in cancer, for modern medicine, we know it's target therapy. When there's this target, only we can use it. But it's different from the personalized therapy when we talk about herbal medicine. In herbal medicine, we talk individualized therapy or herbal medicine customized therapy is what type of TCM pattern is this, then we use this, what type of herbal medicine. It's totally different. But now the research they are doing is this patient, if they are using this target therapy, can they use herbal therapy or not? So these are some of the clinical research they have done, but then it's very limited, only to 2 or 3 types. So that is why in real clinical practice, when I have a patient with target therapy, I don't use herbal medicine. Because if you don't know what's the reaction, it's not fair, not ethical to use herbal medicine when you don't know whether this herbal medicine will increase efficacy or will reduce the efficacy of the target therapy. So this is our principle. Do I answer your question? That's why in Malaysia, we cannot use herbal medicine concurrently with chemotherapy. It's written in our guideline. If you are using chemotherapy, 3 days before and 3 days after the chemotherapy, you cannot use herbal medicine because you don't know whether herbal medicine will affect on the efficacy or not. You cannot use because we know that this every medicine or this washout period maybe 1 day or 2 days. So after the washout everything, then only we use herbal medicine. So this is one of the very important principle. We don't use together. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teo. And how about your opinion, Mr. Abhishek?
Yes. Related to targeted gene therapy, there are no studies which I know which are combined with Ayurveda. But I'm well aware of the chemotherapies and the radiation therapies, which is very common in developing countries as cancer treatment. In that therapies, a lot of complications arise because of the actual treatment. And there are proven medicines of Ayurveda, well researched, showing that this demerits which are generated or complications which are generated because of the radiation therapy or the chemotherapy that are effectively brought down with the help of herbal medicines. Now, related to targeted gene therapy or advanced cancer treatments, as Dr. Theo rightly mentioned, more researchers has to be done, and it has to be at a collaborative level wherein you are giving this targeted gene therapy, and there should be doctors or centers who are ready to accept, adopt, and treat their patients with Ayurveda or any herbal alternative system of medicine. The biggest benefit in this way of doing is the patient's pockets are not emptied. The government's funding is not emptied just focusing on these therapies, and such institutes are coming up in India is a good thing. As I see from my perspective, the Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital in Mumbai, which is starting to accept herbal treatments, Ayurveda treatments, along with conventional therapy treatments, what cancer treatments, what are given, they are starting to study. So it is at a very preliminary base. So I cannot comment that it is working good or it is proving good. It is very preliminary, and more researchers has to be done in this area. That is what my opinion and that is what my knowledge about this is.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Theo and Mr. Abhishek.
Okay, we still have one more questions. Yeah, the time is almost up actually, so.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For Dr. Theo, thank you for a very insightful presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Faiza Yuniati. I'm from Department of Epidemiology Surveillance. So many literature provides evidence of TCM in the prevention and treatment of diseases, especially for cancer. However, it was previously stated in your presentation that TCM can diagnose diseases. And the question is, would you please expand some examples of TCM that have been proven to be able to diagnose disease, and could you please explain how does it work, especially for cancer diagnostic? And for the second one, in the hospital setting, do doctors, especially in your country, do doctors provide TCM as a complementary treatment for cancer patients? And what is the legal aspect of this? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. A very good question. I answer from the end, the last question. So from the legal aspect, we have this TNCM Act 2016 in place. So from next year onwards, all our TNCM practitioner will be registered. So when we have the practitioner registered, they are accountable for their medical treatment, their TNCM treatment. So according to the country MOH publication, we have clinical practice guideline by Malaysian MOH on this acupuncture and also on this herbal medicine, meaning that we have indication, contraindication, patient selection criteria on who are eligible to receive the treatment and who are not. For your information, all our cancer patients, they are not walk-in patients in National Cancer Institute. They are referred by oncologists, meaning that these patients they come directly to us. They come to us after they completed their surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and then they have some side effect or they have some cancer symptoms. And then when this arises, when the modern medicine couldn't help much, then the oncologist or the surgeons will refer to us. So when they refer to us, then we'll look at the patient from the TCM perspective. Just now when you talk about diagnosis, this diagnosis, we need to understand that in integrative medicine oncology, TNCM practitioner do not diagnose this is breast cancer, this is colon cancer. We do not diagnose like this. It is patient will have two diagnoses. One is the modern medicine diagnosis. For example, this patient is breast cancer, stage 1B, completed the surgery and chemotherapy, for example, like this. Estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, HERS receptor, positive or negative, triple negative or what. So they have their own modern medicine diagnosis. But on top of that, we after TCM access, we use our own TCM method, for example, the inquiry and others, to come out with a TCM diagnosis, a TCM pattern. TCM pattern, the example is, for example, in TCM, we said we have this yin and yang, the fire and water, okay? We say fire and water. So the yin and yang, either it is excessive, more, or deficiency, not enough. So when patient is diagnosed yin deficiency, then we give herbal medicine to increase the yin so that we have equilibrium. So the TCM diagnosis we mentioned here is not by the modern medicine diagnosis, but it's a TCM diagnosis. Because when we take the pulse, we look at the tongue, all this give information from the TCM perspective. So we have a TCM diagnosis. And then all the herbal medicine is given also based on TCM diagnosis. However, when we give any of this TCM treatment, we also need to look into the patient's modern medicine diagnosis. For example, if patient is ER/PR positive breast cancer patient, okay, so patient will be taking this endocrine therapy. They will be taking tamoxifen. So tamoxifen is to reduce the estrogen. So when we give the herbal medicine, we cannot give herbal medicine with phytoestrogen, a lot of high phytoestrogen, because we know that the research in these past 20 years show that small amount of phytoestrogen, it will combine with the estrogen receptor and inhibit and stop the human estrogen from combining. So in this case, it has a certain anti-cancer property. So we know that if the human estrogen combine with the receptor, then you have cancer. Okay, so when this phytoestrogen, the plant-based estrogen, is combined, it will stop the human one from combining. So in this case, it got anti-cancer property. But if you use this phytoestrogen in a very huge amount, in very concentrated high dosage, then it may also cause the progression. That's why you can see once patient is ER/PR positive, then when we use herbal medicine, we need to know which medicine we cannot use. That is why we we need to know the herbal drug interaction before we prescribe the herbs. And then if anything happened to the patient after taking the herbal medicine, then the TCM practitioner still have to go to court, have to go and answer, and then it will be based on the already existing research or this CPG or clinical practice guideline in the court. So patient, the practitioner will be still held accountable for the wrongdoing in the practice. I mean, medical legally have to be responsible. That's why now TCM practitioner in Malaysia, they need to buy professional indemnity just as the modern medicine doctor, because there's a lot of litigation cases ongoing, and also it happened. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Theo, for your explanation.
All right. Since the time is up, so I'm so sorry. We have to close the questions, and if you still have questions, maybe you can contact our keynote speakers privately. Is it okay, Dr. Theo and Dr. Abhishek? Yeah. Okay, before I end, our last speaker in the second sessions for Dr. Theo, please don't go anywhere. We also would like to give Dr. Abhishek Joshi certificate as a keynote speaker virtually. Please share the screen. Okay, this certificate is given to you as one of our keynote speakers for Dr. Abhishek Joshi. And one more time, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. Please accept our certificate. All right, that's all for our second sessions for the second International Conference on Health, Social Sciences, and Technology 2023 with the topic Optimizing Integrated Health Services for a Better Quality of Life. I would like to say thank you so much for our outstanding keynote speakers with their comprehensive topics. We have Dr. Amma Javid, Dr. Theo Shen, and Dr. Abhishek Joshi for spending their times with us in the International Conference. And we really appreciate it. And for all the audience, thank you very much for being a wonderful participant and actively participating during these sessions. Hopefully, through this international conference, we can gain framework and model toward a better quality of life by enhancing integrated health services quality. See you again real soon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Back to our Master of Ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Baik, terima kasih Mr. Feeder yang telah memandu keynote speaker kita pada sesi kedua ini, dan kami ucapkan juga terima kasih untuk keynote speaker kita, 3 orang yang dari luar negeri. Sekali lagi Bapak Ibu beri aplaus yang meriah buat moderator dan narasumber kita yang sangat luar biasa pada hari ini. Kami persilakan untuk moderator untuk dapat kembali ke tempat duduknya. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, tibalah saatnya kita di penghujung kegiatan kita pada hari ini, tapi sebelumnya ya, menutup perjumpaan kita pada sore hari ini, kita saksikan terlebih dahulu satu buah persembahan dari pegawai kita, salah satu video lagu yang berjudul Palembang Bari.
Kagumku melihatnya, Palembang, Sumatera Selatan, kota Bari, kota tercinta, bumi Sriwijaya, indah berseri, rakyat damai, berbudaya. Kini ku kenal selalu jayamu Sriwijaya tempo dulu, takkan ku lupakan selama-lamanya. Kagumku melihatnya, Palembang, Sumatera Selatan, kota Bari, kota tercinta, bumi Sriwijaya, indah berseri, rakyat damai, berbudaya. Kini ku kenal selalu jayamu Sriwijaya tempo dulu, takkan ku lupakan selama-lamanya.
Baik Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, dapat kami informasikan untuk kegiatan kita esok hari. Kegiatan kita dimulai pukul 8 di ballroom ini. Nantinya akan kita lihat dari invited speaker, yaitu ada Dr. Ira Kusumawati, Dr. Mulyadi, Dr. Erwin, Dr. Esti, Dr. Faiza, Dr. Nurul, dan Dr. Oktariana. Jadi pada pukul 8 sampai pukul 15.30 kita melaksanakan invited speaker nantinya di ruangan ini dan juga berbarengan dengan oral presentasi di room di lantai 5. Dan untuk kostum besok itu temanya apa tadi Bu ya, lupa. Apa Bu? Iya, casual. Ya, jadi silakan Bapak Ibu sesuaikan temanya esok casual untuk kostum kita esok hari. Dan nantinya pada pukul 15.30 sampai 16.10 kita akan ada closing ceremony di ballroom ini juga. Dan sebelum meninggalkan ruangan kami mohon Bapak Ibu dapat melakukan absensi di meja registrasi di depan, absensi pulang. Dan pada hari ini ya, untuk yang di Zoom kita sediakan absensi di link pada kolom chat. Silakan untuk di browsing. Dan demikian kegiatan kita pada hari ini. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu atas kehadirannya. Dan terima kasih juga atas perhatiannya. Mohon maaf apabila ada salah kata dan perbuatan. Akhir kata wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.